Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mike Voorhees, not Sam Bourquin. Sammy is on a vacation. Joined with me today, Mike Dixon, Brian Beatty. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Doing great. How about you, Mike?
Doing well. Mike?
Not bad. Can't complain. Here on a wonderful 1 week before the high school football season. Can't wait.
Absolutely. We are here live from the 2026 high school football coaches preview, which will it'll take place a little bit later this afternoon. We're going to get to talk to the Stark County coaches that will be here getting ready for the high school football season. I'm sure they're very excited. We'll get some coaches on and talk to them and see if we can grill them with some great questions. You see the call and the text line. They are there. Text 330-944-5179, and you can call 330-821-1310. You're live here on AM 1310 WDPN. Yeah, so let's jump right into the day's news here. Of course, you see it at the top of the screen. The Guardians fall to the Detroit Tigers in the series opener. They lose 6-4. 6-4, I believe, was the final last night. And again, the Guardians could not get a hit with a runner in scoring position. 11 left on base last night. Mike, I know with you wearing the correct C on your chest there, you're going to be my resident Guardians guy today. And Beatty, I know you're not a big Guardians guy, but maybe you can kind of chime in. Guys, what is wrong with the Guardians?
It's really tough to watch right now. I mean, they stranded 9 left on base last night. And also, I feel like our bullpen isn't up to strength of what we've been normally doing in the past and before the All-Star break. I feel like ever since we went to All-Star break and came back, we're not the same program. We're not the same team in the manager, clubhouse, or what's going on, especially in trade deadline. We made a lot of great moves, and we're not really doing anything. It's kind of like we spun out. Going in, especially for the All-Star break. Like, I don't really know when's the last time we won a series. Like, it's been so long. Ever since we came back, we had Pirates and and so on and so on. Or we get in the game, score some runs, and then we end up losing the lead and can't get back into it.
Yeah, it's frustrating for sure. I mean, the Guardians, they go and make moves at the trade deadline, and we all get excited. Joe Adele, Craig Yoho, Foster Griffin, and Nathaniel Lowe. I assumed that the team was going to get better. I just assumed automatically that they were still in this thing. And we're going to ask a little bit later, can the Guardians turn it around? That's going to be the poll question today. Can they right the ship? And who are we blaming? Are we blaming the players? Have they lost faith in coach in both? Have they just died? Are they just not interested in what's going on? We know baseball is a very long season. But yeah, not sure what we can do.
I don't know. I mean, 58-62, we're behind Detroit now, who we were ahead of. And this is an important series. And last night was a big statement game. And I think we came out with the wrong statement. Just really struggling. It'd be interesting to see tonight how Foster does on his second start for the Guardians. Didn't have a great showing his first time out. So let's see what he can do the second time. Everybody's allowed to have a bad start. Let's just hope that it's not continuous and he can bounce back from it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's one of those things. Foster Griffin, I was shocked when we made the deal and we got him to come and join our starting rotation. I expected big things. And then he gets shelled in his first outing. And now we're trailing the White Sox, the Tigers, the Twins.
Yep.
And then it's us.
Yeah.
And it's baffling. Beatty, what do you think? What can we do to kind of right the ship?
How close is football season?
You know, spoken like the true football guy that he is.
Yeah.
And
No, it almost feels like you're with all these new guys, like spring training all over again, and they're trying to get used to everything. But you don't have time for that. You got to get rolling quicker. I think they had a shot. The weekend in Chicago. I thought they should have took 2 out of 3 for sure there, and only took 1 out of 3. But yeah, it just seems like the errors, the mental mistakes, it's frustrating, just not getting the timely hits, the pitching and everything. It's just, I don't know where the blame falls, coaching, players, locker room, what's going on, but it seems like it's about time to have one of those sit down locker room moments where someone needs to take control. I don't know who is the leader on this team right now. Who's
it's got to be Jose.
He is
the man.
Yeah.
But
it's hard to be the leader when you're not out there.
Yeah, is he the vocal leader?
Yeah.
That's
is it Hedgie?
Is
Hedgie being the big veteran, and the reason they brought him back again is to be that veteran stance in the locker room. I mean, you've lost your last 3 road series.
Yeah.
I mean, got to turn it around, got to make something happen, got to have a gut check. Big gut check.
And I agree with what Brian said. I think it's time for a closed door, no coaches, just players. Like let's hash this out, guys. We've got to figure this out. You are now 4 games back of the White Sox for the Central Division lead, and you're now 2 games back of the Rangers for the 3rd wild card spot. And we're 2-8 in our last 10 games. If we continue to lose, the season's over, and all these trades that we made are for nothing.
Yeah, and it's just frustrating as a fan and as someone that watches all the time and follows the team, is that day in and day out, it seems to be a lot of the same things happening over and over again. We can't produce on offense. When we get on base, we leave guys stranded. Our bullpen struggles to get out of situations. I mean, and it happens, but unfortunately, it's happening at the wrong time. And we did trades to address those situations going into the second half of the season. So it'll be interesting to see if we can bounce back. Big game tonight, I think. 6:40. Got to do something with it.
Yeah, and I mean, it is Foster Griffin against Framber Valdez, the other big acquisition that the Tigers made after they traded Tarek Skubal and Casey Mize. And Framber's not having a great season either.
No,
and
he's got a 4.17 ERA. I mean, it's not the best out there, so we got to be able to take advantage of it. And I know we're on the road. I know we've been struggling on the road, but it's a gut check time.
It absolutely is. It is a definite gut check time. The Guardians have to figure it out, or else they're just going to be looking ahead of them the rest of the regular season. You want to make those trades actually mean something. You went out and got a guy like Joe Adell that can hit home runs and play great defense. You went out and got a Nathaniel Lowe who just seems to hit lasers. He's got that line drive mentality. And then you go and get a guy like a Foster Griffin. And I'm not going to pick on Craig Yoho too much. I think the other night he just didn't have it. And as a pitcher, there's games that you're going to not have it. And I think Vogt kind of realized it a little too late. And by then the game was out of reach. Last night, I wonder, did Vogt leave Tanner Bybee in a little too long?
That was my thought. I feel like we're trying to wait for guys to get out of situations when you got to go with your gut. You got to go with the right decision at the right time. He's struggling. We need to change. We need to bring somebody in to help him out and help the team out. I know Bybee's your guy, and Yoho's new. You want to see what he can do and help us out, and he's had a great reputation. But sometimes you just got to make those tough decisions and pull the chain quicker.
Yeah, I mean, I know it used to be where a guy would be like, okay, we can't pull him until he throws 100 pitches. Guess what? The 3rd and the 4th time through the lineup, guys are seeing things a little bit easier, and they're beginning to tee off. I mean, last night it didn't help when Bailey goes to throw the runner out at 3rd. Jose misses it. It goes into left field. 2 runs score. And then the Guardians, they kept trying to chip away.
Well, and that's something that we didn't see at the beginning of the season was, you saw a couple errors from Bazzana a little bit, just due to the fact that he's a rookie, he's young. But to have Bailey and Jose kind of have that miscommunication, have that big error that caused that, man, we are not used to seeing something like that. And it just feels like it's a trickle effect. Once that happens, everybody's head kind of goes down. Okay, what's next? What can we do from here?
Right. Like last night, look at it this way. Joe Adele hits a home run. Everybody's like, great, this is why we brought him here, right? He's leading our team in home runs. You get Chase DeLauder. He hits a home run as well. He goes 3 for 5. Kwani has come out of nowhere. He started the season where we were talking about sending him down to AAA. We're talking about releasing him. We're talking about trading him. And he's been one of our best hitters. So he's starting to do well, going 2 for 4. But again, Vogt has to get the best and the most out of his guys right now, or else this season is done, and we're going to go into the offseason going, what could have happened? What should have happened? But again, I don't want to sit here and talk Guardians all day long. You guys know that I can. I host a podcast for a reason. So we're gonna change direction. The Los Angeles Lakers today sold for $12 billion. Yes, I said that right. $12 billion. What?
It's insane that kind of money, like when you really think about it. And to think that it has only been about 14 months since the Dodgers purchased the Lakers. So that is a quick turnover. And it's kind of odd that you see, okay, LeBron said he's going to go. Now they're looking to sell. And I don't know if that has any coincidence with it. Okay, maybe we're not going to get as much in as what comes for ticket people. And then to see the group that bought it, you had the former Disney CEO is one of the big headliners on putting in the $12 billion. All right, well, he's got a lot of pull of who he can get in there. He could go to some of the actors that he knows that have been in Disney productions, other major companies. I mean, you could get a good group of ownership right there to help out advertisement and get people in the seats.
I mean, isn't it a conflict of interest? I mean, I get he's the former CEO of Disney, but $12 billion? LeBron's gone. So where is that value? Where's the $12 billion actually coming from?
It is a group that is involved in it, and it's so it's two main players. Number one, it's Kershaw. And I think it's just one of the number one sports team.
AWP Safety, North America's leading traffic safety company, is hiring traffic control flaggers, and they need you. Join AWP as a protector for steady work and an important job keeping people safe. They offer paid training, certification, referral bonuses, and advancement opportunities. To apply, visit jobs.awpsafety.com. That's jobs.awpsafety.com.
Every 65 seconds, someone in the United States develops Alzheimer's disease. Many don't even know it.
I just knew that I wasn't the high-performing person I used to be. Pieces of my past are being erased. I was lucky we caught this at the very earliest stages. I hope that my story can give other people hope. There is life to be lived. Increasingly, there will be treatments. We need to invest even more in research and finding treatments and cures.
Bright Focus Foundation's Alzheimer's Disease Research Program has invested more than $175 million in breakthrough research.
If your loved one or you yourself are sitting there thinking, something is wrong, I'm not who I used to be, you can get some answers and you can get them for free.
Call us at 1-855-345-6237 or visit us online at brightfocus.org/brainhealth to learn more.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative,
and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day when this is all a thing of the past,
You couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at mda75.org.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
And we are back. It is a crazy train. Mike Voorhees with Mike Dixon, Brian Beatty at the 2026 High School Football Coaches Preview. That'll happen a little bit later this afternoon. We apologize for the technical difficulties. Technology is great when it works. When it fails, it is not fun. And trying to fix things on the fly is always fun. So we appreciate those kind of hanging out, sticking with us as we figure it out. I think we are good to go. What we were talking about before we went to break was the Lakers selling for $12 billion. And then I hear a rumor as well as Russell Westbrook retires.
Yes, just announced right before he went on air, Russell Westbrook has decided after 18 seasons to hang it up. And, it's a good segue because he was a Laker, but, he was also with Sacramento, Washington, the Thunder, the Rockets. I mean, just kind of all over.
And he's somebody that never won an NBA title.
Definitely not. I mean, coming from the number 4 pick in the NBA draft in 2008 by the Seattle Supersonics.
Oh, my gosh. They turned into the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yep.
So is he a Hall of Famer?
I don't know. His career averaged 20.9 points a game, 6.9 rebounds, 8 assists per game. He has the record for most career triple doubles with 209.
Oh my goodness!
So
okay,
stat wise, I would think yes. I mean, especially with the triple double numbers. But
no NBA titles.
Yes, I think that's the big hang up there is that no NBA title. Yes, guys can get in without a title, but I don't know. It's a tough call.
It absolutely is. I mean, Russell Westbrook, a very good player. He is a fantastic facilitator at the point guard position. Again, you talk about him almost averaging he did almost average a triple-double with points, rebounds, and assists. He was great defensively as well. And he got to play with people like James Harden and Kevin Durant. And, and he did what he was supposed to do. He made those players better. But I don't think that you can let him into the Hall of Fame. He doesn't have a championship. So I think that's isn't that what you celebrate there is like the overall career. But if you don't have that trophy, do you give him a spot in the Hall?
And also him being the 2017 MVP, he goes out there with the Thunder, loses the title to the Miami Heat, the big threes there. And then he finished his career. He's 5th time overall in assists.
Wow.
So,
okay.
I mean, that's a huge stat too. Like you said, his stats are there. The only thing that's kind of hanging and looming over his head is that spot up top, that championship ring that he's going home with.
Right. Beatty, I saw you shaking your head. Chime in. You said yes.
Yeah, if Barkley's in, he's in. Barkley doesn't have a championship. He's on the 70.
Yeah.
He's on the top 75 all-time players list. Gold medal winner. I think he's a lock to go in. A name, it'll go down. Has his own shoe brand. I mean, but I think he's a lock to go in. You got a lot of guys you can look, in different sports, with Dan Marino's, guys like that. But yeah, he doesn't have the championship. Was close a few times, but I think he's a lock. He was definitely, I hate to say a team player because sometimes he was a pain in the butt, but yeah, he was definitely, I don't know how many, what did you say?
18 years.
How many,
18 years.
how many all-time all-star did you say? Yeah, I want to say he had to be a 10-time at least all-star.
On all-time points.
Yeah, so at least 10-time all-star, I would imagine. So yeah, I would say he's a lock to go in.
My question is, are we shocked that he decided to hang it up and not try to latch on to a team like Philly or Cleveland, or a team that could have used his veteran presence and maybe try to get that title that has eluded him?
I don't know if his style of play fits those programs.
Okay.
And Philly, they're kind of already set what they want. He'd have to take league minimum. Is he wanting to take league minimum? And then going to the Cavaliers, he's going to go and want to be the man. And there's only one ball between him, Mitchell, Harden. If Harden does get re-signed, I mean, they were talking a re-sign and trade earlier this week. So I don't know if he fits in with any of those teams.
Oh, it's kind of funny to think about. I mean, I could see him teaming up with LeBron and Philly. I mean, they do have that one roster spot left, and I know a lot of people have kind of chimed in about taking that spot, whether it was Carmelo Anthony. I've heard both of the Morris twins wanted a spot. I mean, there's multiple players that are like, oh yeah, I'll let me team up with LeBron and Jaylen Brown and Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey and Edgecombe and all of that. So we have reached the bottom of the hour. So we're going to kick it back to Clint Marshall for the news. We'll get the weather, and then we're going to dive into a little bit more sports talk. When we come back, you are listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. The Consumer Price Index rose 0.1% in July compared with June. Compared with a year ago, the Consumer Price Index is up 3.4%, matching the consensus forecast. Prices fell 0.4% in June. Core prices, a measure excluding volatile food and energy prices, rose 0.2% compared with the previous month. For the year, core prices are up 2.5%, a decline in year-over-year inflation from the previous month's 2.6%. The moderate monthly readings, along with a decline in the year-over-year inflation rate, will likely ease concerns among Fed officials. Goods prices fell 0.2%, the second consecutive monthly decline. Excluding food and beverages, goods prices dropped 0.4%. The search for life in the rubble of Colombia's powerful earthquake growing more desperate as search teams push up against a key time threshold to locate survivors. Devastation testing Colombia's new president as he responds to the natural disaster and ensures aid makes it to the vulnerable communities most affected. Aid agencies consider the first 48 to 72 hours crucial for retrieving people alive, though that limit can be extended if the victims have access to food and water. Wednesday, Florida Attorney General James Othmeyer announced his office, in conjunction with Attorneys General John McCuskey of West Virginia and Liz Murrill of Louisiana, issued an investigative subpoena demanding Anthony Fauci produce a range of documents dating from January 3, 2020 through the present. As director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, Fauci emerged as the public face of the federal government's COVID response. He pushed masks, social distancing, lockdowns, and eventually a vaccine. The subpoena stemmed from the recent release of Fauci's diary. In it, Fauci recorded observations and opinions that often differed from his public COVID guidance. In the wake of Wednesday's subpoena, 3 other states could also bring charges. President Trump Tuesday announced the federal government will no longer use Medicaid funds to cover gender transition surgeries and hormones for minors. Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services finalized a rule ending federal Medicaid and Children's Health Insurance Program funding for what the agency calls sex rejecting procedures on children and youth. It covers puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgical operations. Funding remains available for a tapering off period of up to 6 months for children already on hormone therapy. The rule takes effect October 13th and applies only to federal dollars. Approximately 2.4 million Afghan girls remain barred from secondary education 5 years into Taliban rule. Afghanistan, the only country in the world with formal bans on women's education. Taliban regained power in Afghanistan in August 2021. By the following March, the Islamic fundamentalist group had shuttered girls' secondary schools, and women were barred from universities in December 2022. Women are also prohibited from teaching boys, contributing to a teacher shortage. Afghanistan's literacy rate is among the world's lowest at roughly 37%. 76 degrees at 3:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
82 warm degrees for your Wednesday high. Slight chance for an afternoon thunder shower in a couple of spots, otherwise partly sunny. Overnight, isolated rumbles of thunder here and there, mainly cloudy. Our low 65. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
Most pests hide in the shadows, just out of sight. But even as they go unnoticed, they can still put our health at risk. Often drawn to food, moisture, and clutter, pests can spread dangerous bacteria, trigger allergies, and also transmit diseases. In our homes, our workplaces, and even outdoors, pests are a serious health and safety threat. Knowing what to look for can help protect your health. Learn more at pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
And we are back at the 2026 High School Football Coaches Preview here at St. Haralambos Church in Canton. Mike Voorhees filling in for Sam Bourquin. With me on my left is Brian Beatty. Mike Dixon stepped out for just a second. He'll be back here in a little bit. But Brian, before we went to break, we were talking about Russell Westbrook. You said he should get into the NBA Hall of Fame. Do you not see him trying to? Does it shock you that he didn't try to join a team and try to get with somebody like a LeBron James or team up with a team that that could use his services, so to speak?
It's just hard to tell. See what you just don't know how his body's held up now. It's age is there. You don't know if he wants to play for the minimum. Even though that's a nice chunk of pocket change. I just. He might just be ready to hang him up, and maybe he's not looking to, make that extra money and just ready to hang him up. It's hard to tell, you're not in his circumstance, and he's just ready to spend time with his family and get going.
Well, what's great is, 18 years in the NBA. I mean, he's done a lot. Here, Brian, let's try this on for size and see if this will work for you. Here, I'll hand you the right end and I'll let you plug it in. You can, while Mike joins us again. Computers are fun, man, but guess what? They need to be charged. in order to work. And if they're not charged, then it becomes a big problem. We were talking about Russell Westbrook hanging it up, Mike. I mean, I think it's fantastic. He's had a great career. I don't know if I would put him in the Hall of Fame. I think that's something I'd have to really, really think about. I know Brian brought up a great point. Charles Barkley. Barkley is in, and he doesn't have a title. We hear Shaq tease him all the time that he has multiple titles, and Barkley has none.
And it is true. And I also think it kind of has, all right, is he a first balloter the first time he's going to be up? Okay, well, who else is also in the running that year? And, like, who else is he going to be up against? I think is going to play a huge part in it.
Right. I think so. Yeah.
But statistic-wise, yeah, I mean, he had a fantastic season and did a lot of great things to his ability, made his teammates better, put his team in contention multiple times.
Right.
He just couldn't get it over the hump. I felt a lot of times he would get to the playoffs and fizzle out, kind of almost like the James Harden effect, where you get to the playoffs and you fizzle out a little bit and you fall back. So it's going to be interesting to see. I know we still have a little bit of time before they figure that out, but it's a really good debate.
Well, it'll definitely be a good debate. I mean, it'll be interesting to see who goes in with him to see if he matches up well. What I found interesting, this was something that I know that we're all checking our phones. We're waiting to see who do the Browns name as the starting quarterback for game 1 of the NFL preseason for the Browns. I know Brian's checking his phone. Mike's been checking his phone. Is it going to be Shedeur? Is it going to be Deshaun Watson? Is it going to be Dylan Gabriel? Could it be the 4th string quarterback? What's his name? I can't think of his name at the moment. They drafted him. That's all I remember. But
he's not gotten hardly any reps.
Yeah.
At camp, from the things that I've read, you know, your top 2 guys have been Deshaun, Shedeur. Gabriel's getting a little bit, but if you look at it, Watson has taken almost 2 times what first string snaps than Shedeur has. And I don't know if that shows anything. I know that he said, you know, sometime after 3 today, he's going to make the announcement on who's going to start for Saturday.
Right.
And then the following preseason game will be the next person. They're going to split half. So I do like the fact that they're giving him a whole half. No matter who it is, you're still getting that whole half. You're getting used to the game speed again, playing with some of the new guys, playing with the offensive line, reading defenses as somebody else. I mean, you've had 13 days of just seeing the same defense over and over.
the same guys, the same jersey numbers. They switch a little bit, but yeah, you want to hit. I think there comes a time where these guys, and we'll talk about it and when we talk high school here, you're ready to hit. You want to hit somebody other than your teammates. And I'm not a Browns fan, so I could care less who starts, whether it's Watson or whether it's Shedeur. I know that there's a guy that I follow on Twitter. He throws up the spring, like the training and who does what in that day. And I know there was one day where Watson threw like 7 touchdowns, but then I come to find out it was all in the red zone.
Yeah.
So it really wasn't like he was trying.
Or it was 7-on-7. They really don't, from what I've understood, is they don't differentiate the stats. You know,
right.
Was it 7-on-7? Was it full field?
We kind of need to know. I do know that Watson has thrown more interceptions than Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
I do know that.
Beginning of camp, Watson looked like he was struggling a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then within the last week or so, his last few times on taking the ones, as you could say, he's looked really well. He's controlled the offense. And then on the other side of the ball, the biggest knock on Shedeur is that he's holding the ball too long.
Yeah.
Like he's waiting and waiting and waiting for the play to develop. Yeah, you're not getting that rush. You know, everybody has to peel off you so you don't get hit.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have more time. So it'll be a huge eye opener once they're able to hit. I know today is supposed to be their last day of practice. They're going to travel tomorrow and then have walked through, I believe, on Friday, and then they'll play Saturday.
Who do we play Saturday? Or who do they play Saturday? I almost
Chicago.
said we.
They are
the
going
Bears?
to Chicago, and they are playing the Bears.
Bears. I'll take the Bears.
Kobe Bryant is
I heard. No, not that Kobe Bryant.
No,
not that Kobe
Bryant with a C.
Yeah.
C-O-B-Y.
Yeah, he got hurt.
He's got a knee injury. He had to have surgery this morning, so he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. He's a Glenville guy.
Okay, yeah, he is.
So that's a big thing that he's a Cleveland guy. So it'll be interesting. Your first time on the road, first time head coach. Not really sure who the starter is going to be. we're at the point where we really need to figure it out. I know it's a competition.
Has this not been an issue for the past few years? It was, again, I'm not a Browns fan, but I'm just seeing everything that I've read and things that I've heard from other people. Watson hasn't played a full season, right? In 2 years? Is it 3 years, Brian? When's the last time Watson played a full season? Was it back at Clemson?
Yeah, I mean, no, it would have been back in Houston.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's right, Houston. When the Browns gave away the farm to get him. Got it. Okay, I remember.
Played a full season yet. Back here at Cleveland.
For the Browns, no, I don't believe there's been a full season. I don't know if there's been a full season with a Cleveland Browns quarterback in the last decade.
Oh my God!
I mean, we're usually going into the third string by game 6. I feel like.
Brian, chime in. Who would you like to see as the starting quarterback for the Browns? I'm not talking about Saturday's preseason game, but for the regular season, you're my football guy, right?
Yeah, I guess when you're looking. The Browns, it's hard. I really am interested with preseason this year. I'd like to see both of them when they start really actually getting a little bit of live action here, game speed, when you get into these scrimmages or preseason games, to see what Watson really has. It'd be great to see that, old self, but, coming off those injuries is going to be tough. Sanders, he's a different style quarterback, and we knew that going into the season. He does some crazy stuff. He'll throw balls that are sideways and they get there, but sometimes he makes those plays. Is that going to work in the NFL week in and week out? I don't believe so, but it's fun to watch. Are we just going to take our lumps and hope we get a good draft pick next year?
Don't we say that every year?
Yeah, it has been. It's
my goodness.
Thing, and that might be what we're going to try to do again. And so I don't know where we're at. It's the Browns. It's tough. It's going to be interesting. I think this is actually a pretty intriguing preseason. Actually, you're actually going to tune in and see,
I
what
won't
these
be tuning
two have.
in.
And
I know you guys will be. I won't be.
I'm interested to see how he's actually going to perform. I guess Watson, how he's going to perform coming in. We can see. You watch all these information you get out of training camp. You saw OTAs. You look great. That's OTAs. You see, the interceptions here. It's all scripted. You don't know what the defensive had script. You might be thrown into, coverages that are, designed for the defense. So it's pros and cons both ways. I want to see live action against different colored jerseys, and let's see how it shapes up then.
See, this is what makes him the football guy. Like, he just explains that, and I'm like, you know what? Yes, he's absolutely right. Let me ask this. Who's the Browns starting running back? I know Judkins got hurt last year. Is he
really good
back?
Yes.
Okay, so he's healthy. And
he's getting healthy, and I really like him. He's a strong back.
Okay, he is from the Ohio State University.
Yeah, he's good. I wish I had a little bit of the depth chart, but
no, we don't need the depth chart. It's okay.
Running backs are running backs. I think,
they're interchangeable.
Interchangeable, yeah.
Who's his backup?
That's what I'm trying to remember.
Is it Dylan Sampson, the kid they drafted from Tennessee? I think.
Yeah, they have him, and they have one other one. You
Okay.
catch me off guard with
that. Mike's going to the phone, so he'll figure it out quick.
Give me that update. But yeah, running backs are, I want to say a dime a dozen.
No, they're not.
It's not.
Stop.
It's a tough position, but you got to have people around you. You got to have up front. That's where it all starts, and I'm a little worried up there too.
Oh, here we go. Mike found the depth chart.
String running back Raheem Sanders.
That's it, Raheem Sanders. Yeah,
third right now in the depth chart.
Okay.
And then the nice thing that I'm interested in, and they announced this yesterday, is that Casey Concepcion is going to be a number 1.
Wow.
And also, Denzel Boston are going to be number 1.
So and I've heard
two rookies out there at number 1.
Where's Stonehands Judy? Is he still with the Browns?
He's still with the Browns.
Okay, good.
Listed as their number 1. But I feel like one of the two rookies could really jump in and take that spot away.
Yeah.
So, and then we still have Isaiah Bond and Tillman right behind those guys. So.
Wow. Okay. Again, so I'm not a Browns guy. So do we have predictions as to what the Browns will do this season? I know we play 17 games. I'm sure they're going to win probably 5 of those 17 games. That's what I'll say, 5-12. I just don't think. I mean, and again, I know you had said it while we were on break. Miles Garrett's hurt. So does this now mean that the trade that we made with the Rams was even better? Did we fleece the Rams a little bit?
I really like Jared Verse. I think he's come in and
Verse looks really good.
Teaching the younger guys,
Yeah.
which is something Miles really didn't do. He kind of stepped away during the offseason and didn't come to these other things.
Why do you think that is? Like, if you're Miles Garrett, right, you just set the single season sack record. Why wouldn't you want to take the young guys under your wing and kind of like teach them your ways? I get that Miles Garrett is like a 1 in a million guy, right? Like a guy like him comes around every 10, 15 years. But why wouldn't you want to try to teach these young guys like, hey, this move works well for me, or hey, instead of putting your hands up here, put them here a little bit wider, or it's got to be something with your feet. Like, why wouldn't you want to teach these guys?
I don't know if it's ego or if it's the same thing every year that you're just getting beat down mentally and you just want to check out. The same thing every year. You go in high expectations, you kind of fumble, and you're still at the next season looking for the next leader of the team. And it probably gets old and wears on you. And then you're like, okay, well, I want to get out of Cleveland as soon as I possibly can. I know the big thing is that his fiance now is in the Olympics, so he wanted to go spend time with her and her training and whatnot. So it's hard to really understand that mentality and why you wouldn't want to work with the young guys coming in and build up that team. From what I've read, Versus really come in and taken hold of that and put a little bit of fire and spark underneath that defense, and has really kind of changed the defensive culture where they're upbeat, they're getting after it. I mean, the other day at training camp, Verse and a couple of guys were going at it. You saw a little bit of fight in them. So, and also I think it has a lot to do with your head coach. Who's your leadership in there? You had someone like Stefanski who's kind of laid back, really doesn't get into anybody. And then you have Monken, who's a veteran coach, an older guy, has that old style football in him, who gets into the guys and really breaks down and explains things to them. So it'll be interesting to see how everything unfolds and falls out.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's kind of how I would see it. I mean, I don't know. Brian, what do you think? Like with Mr. Garrett not helping these young guys?
Yeah, it all starts in the locker room, no matter what program you're in, what sport you're in. It starts in the locker room, and we kind of hinted that. I thought even with the Indians, who's leading the Indians right now, and I think that's been a problem with the Browns. I don't know who the true leader of the Cleveland Browns been. Miles Garrett is definitely the leader when you're out on the field, for those 80 minutes or, between the goalposts. But who's the leader? And I don't know if he was a leader in the locker room and, who really leads us in the locker room. Maybe Verse will be this leader we need in that locker room, with the coaching change. Maybe we have a little bit, you can't rely on the coaches to lead in the locker room. We need the vocal leader, the veterans in the locker room leading. And, hopefully, the Sean maybe being around a little bit more. I don't get a real big feel he's a great leader in the locker room, but that's where it all starts. We don't have a locker room. I mean, you look back, I've read a lot of stuff on the old New England Patriots. When they had the dynasty, you walked in those locker rooms and it was taken care of. I mean, they competed in the locker room. They competed when they were out there, and there was no horse messing around, and it was just taken care of. So that's where it all starts. And I don't think Miles Garrett was a leader in the locker room, and I think that's where it kind of starts, where you look at, not taking the young kids under their wing. So hopefully that changes now, and that'll help them all out.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where, you're the first pick in the draft, and you've got a ton of expectation coming in. I mean, being the number one pick, and he was very talented at Texas A&M, and everybody thought that he was going to be that guy. And to hear some of the things that we hear, I know he had some off the field stuff with the speeding tickets on 71. I think they knew him by name, and like, it's just not, to me, that's the off the field stuff can't happen. You've got to, I know that none of us are perfect and we're all going to make mistakes, but it seems like when you make the same mistakes multiple times, that's a problem.
Yeah, and it almost, I don't know if it almost feels like, oh, well, they're just going to give me a slap on the wrist. It's a fine that I can afford. And
Yeah,
and
dude's
what's funny
making
is if he
millions.
goes to a town or a city that traffic's too bad, you're not going to be able to get on those things. And yeah, I think it all falls with him wanting to be a leader, him wanting to be here, and with all the debacle it was in the preseason last year, where he wanted traded, and then didn't, and then
Yeah,
all of
and
a
then
sudden this year he's gone because he's ready to go.
And then we trade him to the juggernaut
Well,
Rams, and they have a
who
great
has Aaron
offense.
Darnold
And
practicing all
right.
week, doing drills with
and
everybody.
Aaron Darnold's back. Good grief. Yeah. Here's something that was fun that I saw today. Everybody remembers the NFL sideline reporter, Michelle Tafoya, right?
Yes, I saw this.
That she will compete for an open seat in the U.S. Senate after winning the Republican primary in Minnesota last night.
I did see that today, too.
This is awesome. She's now going to face Minnesota Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan for the Senate seat. Both are looking to replace the retiring Democratic Senator Tina Smith. Here's a fun fact. The Minnesota voters haven't elected a Republican to a statewide office since 2006.
Wow.
Over 20 years. But good for Michelle Tafoya. I mean, I remember watching football all the time and her being on the sideline. So
Yeah.
it's always good when you can do when you're known, you're known for something other than football.
Right.
So if she can make some changes and do some fun things, then
More power to her.
more power
I mean,
to her.
It's great to see that someone in that background, okay, all she was sideline reporter, all she was known for, but she had a passion for something else, wanting to make a difference, wanting to change things, and jumped right into the race and did a great job of winning the primary and trying to get that position and that seat in Senate.
Yeah, good for her. But I know Beatty's he's chomping at the bit. You can see he's waving his fingers. All right, Brian, chime in. What do you want to say?
No comment. I don't talk about politics.
He doesn't talk politics. Oh, no. Well, we're going to send it back to, we're going to go to commercial here. You're watching the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN live from St. Haralambos Church. We'll be right back right after this.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
High school football returns to WDPN Friday night, August 21st. This is Christian Bigglesworth. My partner Derek Dimmitt and I will be calling the action all season long. And the games will also be streaming live on AM 1310's Facebook and X pages, as well as the Q92 YouTube channel. Get ready for another amazing season of high school football, starting August 21st, right here on AM 1310 WDPN.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it. I got the job. I can't believe it.
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
If I could be you.
And you could be me for just 1 hour.
If you could find a way
To get inside each other's mind.
walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
I'm loving every second of this music. Good grief. It's amazing. Shout out to Ryan Rainsberg back at the station. Doing a phenomenal job. Thanks, Ryan. We made a few changes here while we were away at break. Hopefully it sounds a little bit better. We took one microphone away. Now we're going to go with a two-man show for a little bit. We're about an hour away from some of the local high school coaches coming in. We are live here at the 2026 Football Coaches Preview for Stark County, live from St. Haralumbo's Church. It is not Sam Bourquin. Sam is on vacation. It's crazy to think. Like I'm stunned that we're literally like right around the corner.
A week and a day till our first game. I mean, we have 2 games that night, and it's going to be exciting. And then the next day, we jump back in it with the first Friday Night Lights of the season.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We'll have 2 games here for the Q92 Sports Network. There will be the FM game on Q92 will be Sandy Valley and Fairless. And then you, my friend, Mike Dixon, will be headed to Chardon, home of the Hilltoppers.
Yep, heading back up to Chardon. I've been up there a couple times. My daughter plays high school lacrosse. So
okay.
We always seem to get them late in the playoffs when it's rainy and gross, and we go up to the stadium up there with the horrible weather in the spring, close to the lake. But it should be a great one because Chardon has a history the last few years of being a great football program.
Absolutely, yes, they do.
And a couple years ago, they were state champs. And then you have Jackson going into town. Jackson and Coach Rohr out there really done a fantastic job playing that tough federal league, competing every Friday night, busting their butts day in and day out. So it should be a great game.
Oh, I'm excited. I think you and Ryan Rowland are going to have a phenomenal time. Jackson and Chardon, Sandy Valley and Fairless on Thursday night. And then Friday night, you and I will be together. We'll get to do Perry and Canton Central Catholic.
Yep, the Battle of 13th Street down there.
Can't wait for that. So obviously, I'm going to go through the coaches that are going to be here tonight. We get to talk to Coach Tim Goodman from Alliance. Last year, Alliance goes 8-3, but they lost a lot.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting. I can't wait to talk to Coach Goodman and kind of get an idea of what the incoming class is kind of looking like and what are his expectations on the upcoming season. We're going to have Coach Bardewell from Canton South. He is new. This is year number 1 for him.
Yes, and I had the ability to go see him in a scrimmage, a 3-way scrimmage with Canton Central Catholic, and I can't think of who it was off the top of my head on Saturday. And they looked really, really good on defense, strong defensive front. Secondary was great, able to knock down some passes. Offensively, I feel like they have a little bit more to gel. I don't know if it's, they're replacing a bunch of guys. There's a new system coming in. It's still the first scrimmage. There's still kind of scripting thing. Coaches are on the field. But defensively, man, they look really good.
Well, he's taken over a Canton South team that went 5-6 last season. Why does Canton South have a job opening? Well, because Coach Matt Dennison went to Glen Oak.
So it'll be his first year at Glen Oak. Glen Oak last year went 2-8, but from what I've seen in their scrimmages, they've got a lot of talent. And if there's something that I know with Coach Dennison, his players are going to get dialed in very quickly. He has a way of speaking to these young men and getting them fired up and ready to get on that field and give it everything they've got for 4 quarters.
And they had a good opponent in their first scrimmage. They had Solon come down. Solon's another great
Solon,
program.
led by new head coach, former Q92 sports analyst, and former head coach and athletic director at Canton McKinley. We're talking about the one, the only Antonio Hall at Solon. So shout out Antonio. Looking forward to seeing what he can do up in Solon. But
yeah, they came down and they competed against Solon. They looked really good. Their run game was going. So it'll be interesting this season. A lot of new faces and new places, and that's one of them.
Perfect. We are going to send it back to Clint Marshall for the news. We'll hear Mark Johnson's weather forecast. You are watching the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Jury selection underway in the latest high-stakes trial. Over claims the parent company of Instagram and Facebook designed its apps to be addictive.
In recent days, a judge in New Mexico ruled against Meta, ordering it to pay hundreds of millions of dollars. And earlier this year, a jury in Los Angeles found Meta and Google negligent for designing apps that harmed a user. Now, this latest trial, beginning in Oakland, is in federal court against Meta after dozens of state attorneys general filed a lawsuit claiming Meta has used things like infinite scrolling and push notifications to get kids addicted to their platforms and have harmed child mental health. Alex Stone, ABC News.
In California, a grand jury indictment has been unsealed, charging Nick Reiner in the alleged murders of his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner, in December. He's charged with multiple murders and using a knife as a special circumstance. Parts of Northern Europe treated to a total solar eclipse this past hour. Earlier, Iceland and Greenland were in the dark as the moon moved between the Earth and Sun. This is ABC News.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
In a recent survey of 123,000 wireless customers, Pure Talk was the only wireless company to receive 5 stars in every category: coverage, support, value, and data. What else do you need to know? Switch to Pure Talk today and get any plan, including their top shelf unlimited data plan, for just $15 a month for your first 3 months. No contract, no commitment. Dial pound 250, say micro, and let Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team help you make the switch.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Clint Marshall on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. A second man has been arrested in connection with the slayings of 2 women in a Canton apartment. U.S. Marshals say 46-year-old Daryl Washington was captured Wednesday afternoon near New Philadelphia following a brief foot chase. Washington is charged with aggravated murder and aggravated arson. Police say 42-year-old Katina Spells of Canton and 31-year-old Courtney Yeager of Massillon were found dead Sunday after a fire in an apartment at Skyline Terrace on Allen Page Drive. Both women had gunshot wounds. Another suspect, Melissa Terrell, remains at large. Eric Lamar surrendered Tuesday. Pretrial hearing set August 20th for a man accused of paralyzing a woman with gunfire in Canton. 24-year-old Darius Leishman pleaded not guilty August 7th in common pleas court to felonious assault and improperly discharging a firearm into a habitation. He was indicted by a grand jury 3 days earlier. Leishman was allegedly celebrating Independence Day when he fired an AK-style pistol multiple times July 3rd, striking Summer Christian in the neck while she slept. Police say the shooting took place in the 800 block of 20th Street Northeast. Preliminary hearing set next Wednesday for an Alliance man accused of seriously injuring another man. Alliance police say Michael Sejka slammed the victim to the ground and wrestled with him Sunday afternoon in the 500 block of West Main Street. The victim suffered major lacerations and facial injuries. Sage got charged with felonious assault. He was arraigned Monday in municipal court and released on an unsecured bond with supervision. The Stark County judge's sentenced a man for sex crimes involving a child. Common Pleas Judge Frank Forshoni handed down the 17 years to life in prison term Monday to 19-year-old Tyler Kuhn of Canal Fulton. Kuhn was found guilty Thursday of rape, gross sexual imposition, and illegal use of a minor in nudity-oriented material. Prosecutors say Kuhn had sexual contact with a 12-year-old girl and took nude photos between January and October 2025. Motorcyclist in the hospital with serious injuries after crashing into a semi on I-77 in Plain Township this morning. Crash happened in the northbound lanes near the Belden Village exit shortly before 6. Sheriff's office says the motorcyclist was taken to Mercy Hospital for treatment. The crash caused traffic to back up toward Route 62 before the roadway reopened. A vacant Massillon City Council seat will soon be filled by a former Ward 1 representative. Stark County Republican Precinct Committee members voted 4-1 to appoint Councilwoman Sarita Cunningham to Ward 1. Cunningham currently serves at large and previously represented Ward 1 for 4 terms. She'll resign her at-large seat before taking office. Urban Construction could add 6 new jobs and keep 10 others in Massillon as the company plans a $1.7 million expansion. Wants to build a 12,000 square foot manufacturing facility off Richville Drive. Massillon City Council considering a 10-year, 75% property tax abatement to help pay for the project. Council could vote in the tax break Monday. The Independent reports the company hopes to move into the new facility by April or May of next year. Highway Patrol investigating a deadly crash on I-77 in Tuscarawas County. 60-year-old Michael Carr of Newcomerstown was southbound at Jefferson Township Tuesday afternoon when his car left the highway and hit an embankment near milepost 74. Carr was not wearing a seatbelt. Drugs and alcohol are not considered factors. Carr was pronounced dead at the scene. The Columbiana County Humane Society says it's at capacity after taking in more than 100 animals from a recent seizure. The shelter says 113 animals were taken from an undisclosed location Monday afternoon, bringing the total rescued in less than 2 weeks to 195. The Humane Society has closed intake and is asking for adoptions and donations. Reduced adoption fees are available. Man's body found in a wooded area of a Youngstown backyard has been identified. The Mahoning County Coroner's Office says 39-year-old Bradley Gordon was identified through fingerprints. Gordon was found Thursday near West Ravenwood Avenue and Hillman Street. Authorities have not said how long the man had been there or whether foul play is suspected. A newborn remains on life support after police say he was forcefully shaken by a family friend in Struthers. Court documents say 29-year-old Christian Jones of Youngstown admitted he shook the baby to try to stop him from crying. The baby was left with Jones August 5th. His parents returned home to find him unconscious and turning blue. Jones charged with felonious assault and is being held on a $50,000 bond. Man dead after being struck by 2 vehicles while lying in the roadway in Warren Township Tuesday night. The Highway Patrol says 49-year-old William Blair of Leavittsburg lost control of his e-bike around 9 on Todd Avenue and fell off. Blair was hit by a truck and another vehicle. He died at the scene. The incident is under investigation. Alcohol is suspected as a factor. Former Booster Club president was in court Tuesday, charged with felony theft and misdemeanor credit card misuse. Investigators allege 48-year-old Christina Merrick diverted money raised for Liberty School student athletes to her own use while serving as president of the wrestling and soccer booster programs. The investigation began after booster board members reported financial irregularities. Liberty police allege the crimes took place between September 2025 and last month. Bond was set at $10,000. 76 degrees at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
Little mix of clouds and sunshine through your Wednesday afternoon. I can't rule out a pop-up isolated thunder shower in a couple of spots. 82 for the high. Overnight, same story, a little isolated thunder shower in 1 or 2 spots. Lows in the middle 60s. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page. the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And we are back inside the 2026 high school football coaches preview. You were watching the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN. I am not Sam Bourquin. I am Mike Voorhees, filling in for Sammy B, who was on vacation, getting some well-deserved R&R. Joining me, Mike Dixon, part of the Q92 Sports Network. Mike, it is we're about an hour-ish away from the high school football coaches preview here from St. Haralambos. We were talking about some of the coaches before we went to break. We'll hop right back in. Someone you're very familiar with at Canton Central Catholic, Jeff Lindesmith, a.k.a. Trucker. Why do they call him Trucker?
You know, I really don't know. This is going into my 5th year coaching boys lacrosse at Central Catholic, and I really don't know. I talked to his son a lot.
Okay.
But, you know, they're going to have another young program. I've got a lot of my players on that team. And last year was a big struggle for them because the year before they had a pretty large senior class with a lot of talented guys like Connor Thomas. And then so they just had to fill those gaps. And last year coming into the season, they had some high hopes, but then the injury bug hit them.
Yeah.
And they lost their starting quarterback. Then they lost their backup quarterback. Then they lost their third string quarterback, and they had a linebacker playing quarterback one game.
Oh, my gosh.
And Brock Abbott. And then Brock Abbott tore ligaments in his elbow and missed the rest of the season. And so they relied on a freshman running back, Patrick Scheretti, who did a great job for him. He's coming back. He's going to be strong again coming up. So it's going to be interesting to see everything they overcame last year, what they learned from it, and what they can do with it this season.
Absolutely. I mean, they went 1-9 last year, but that's last year. It is the calendar now has turned. It is time for a brand new season, and it is it'll be awesome when these guys get on the field. We'll get to see them on Friday night for their first game of the season against Perry. I can't wait. That's going to be a lot of fun. Another coach that will be here tonight on the coaches panel, the man, the myth, the legend, John Spider Miller from East Canton. They went 10-3 last year. Mike, they had an incredible run.
Incredible. It was like every Friday night you're on the edge of your seat trying to wait for scores to come in.
Yeah.
I know we were up in a booth wherever we were at. We were trying to figure out, okay, how's that game going? How's that game going? All of us texting back and forth. It was phenomenal to see. I mean, such a great coach taking his program that has struggled in the past.
I believe that's the first year they've ever won 10 games, if I'm not mistaken.
And they just had a phenomenal run. It was like the Cinderella story that you didn't want to end.
No, me and my broadcast partner, Jay Wilhelm, got to call their playoff game against Mogador in Mogador, and Mogador ended the Cinderella story of the East Canton Hornets, and it was sad because you saw just the kids at the end of the game, and they knew the season had come to an end. But you know what, John Coach Spider Miller was telling them, you guys got to hold your head high. You guys went 10-3. Nobody thought that. Now I know that they graduated a lot. I haven't seen what is coming in this year. It'll be fun to talk to Spider and see kind of what the team looks like. So it'll be interesting to talk to him. We're going to get a chance to talk with Fairless head football coach AJ Sarbaugh, a team that went 4-6 last year. But from what I'm hearing, Mike, that this team that he has this year, they're looking really good.
You know, and Ryan Rowland and I got to do a couple games out there last year, and one was kind of in the middle of the season where you could see that it was a struggle. And then one at the end of the season, it was like things started to click. They had a great very last game of the regular season, really pushed themselves, and it's going to be interesting to see how they build on that. And like you said, the word around is that they're a team to watch out for.
Yeah, they are. And I mean, it'll be great. I can't wait to talk. I love Coach Sarbaugh. Obviously, all these coaches from Stark County, I'm a huge fan. I love our job that we get to talk to them both, pregame and throughout the season. And you kind of build that bond with these coaches, and they look forward to talking to you just like you talk to them. We already talked about Coach Matt Dennison, formerly at Canton South, now at Glen Oak. I'm excited to see what Glen Oak can do in the Federal League. We know for the last couple of years it's been Jackson or McKinley and Lake. They've kind of controlled that Federal League. So it'll be nice to see what can Coach Dennison do with the talent of Glen Oak. Can they rise? Can they get above that 500 mark? They went 2-8 last year. Can they win 5 games? Can they win 6 games? I mean, that would be an incredible turnaround for them.
Yeah, and a lot of it is sometimes it just takes a different voice.
Sometimes,
you're hearing the same thing over and over again for so long, and then sometimes it just takes that new voice or that new way of explaining things for the young men to understand what's going on, what's happening. So it's an exciting time to be a Glen Oak Golden Eagle. You have a whole new era coming in, and what better time for it to be?
Listen, and I love Coach Scott Garcia. I mean, I got to interview him quite a bit in my time with Q92 Sports, and he's one of those guys. Like, I go out to an adult place, like a pub, so to speak. And go to a pub, go to a bar. You know what I mean? Like, he's that guy. Like, I just to sit and chat with, the stories, just what he's been able to do over his career at Glen Oak. I wish him nothing but the best in retirement. I'm sure we're going to see him around.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping he'll pop in, to the sidelines of some games. Somebody else that I really love talking to is the Hoover Viking head football coach, Brian Baum. What an incredible season they had last year, 9-3. Jack Andes, this kid he did everything for them. He quarterbacked, he was a running back, he was a receiver, played on defense, returned kicks. I watched him punt. I think he kicked a field goal. He did everything. We called him the Swiss Army knife. I know he graduated.
Yeah.
And I know that Hoover has more talent, though.
They do. I was lucky enough to go out and watch one of their scrimmages also. They scrimmaged a really talented Ashland team.
Yes.
And it was surprising. Ashland's defense, the first series against Hoover, I mean, they held them to almost nothing.
Okay.
But Hoover was also playing a 2-quarterback system.
Okay.
So they were trying to get a look at both of them. And it was interesting to see. And then once, their second possession, they kind of got into the flow of things. And offensively, they were just moving the ball on short passes, just dink and dunk down the field. And then it opened up a little bit more. In all honesty, I think their whole second series, I don't think they had a single run play. I think they were just passing the whole time. On the other side of the ball for them, defensively, they were flying around with the ball.
That's
great. 11 hats on the ball, 11 guys, coaches on the sidelines were hooping and hollering. I mean, they were getting into it. Their linebacking core was not letting the runs get through the line. I mean, they were doing a great job of scraping the line, reading the play, and getting through there. And their secondary, I think, only gave up really one big play during that first half of that scrimmage. So they're a team that, they did lose their guy, but they have so much to build on.
It's the next man up down in Hoover, and it'll be great to catch up with Coach Baum and see how things are going. And then somebody that we know very well, Coach Dan DeGeorge of the Lake Blue Streaks. They went 7-4 last year. Probably one of the best games that I got to call or be a part of was that Week 10 game against Green in Green, where Green won the game. Lake had a chance to score late in the game, and I think the Ty DeGeorge was tackled at like the 1 yard line, and
short.
It allowed Green to get into the playoffs. And then Green went one round, and then they got knocked out, I believe, by Fitch in round 2. But Coach DeGeorge always has those players. Like there's always, we learn about some kids throughout the season that we had no idea. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, did you hear that, he broke for 230 yards and scored 4 touchdowns. You're like, what? Who? What? Oh, he was second on the depth chart. Now he's number 1. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's just like I don't want to say it's a plug and play system, but it almost feels that way. Is that he puts so much faith and trust in his guys, which I think helps and gives them the confidence that they need.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the same staff is always there building and building and building. And being in that complex and hearing that staff and those coaches, I mean, they love those kids. They love the program. Once again, myself and Brian Beatty had the opportunity to go out and watch them scrimmage a great team in West Branch, and both of those offenses looked like the real deal.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear.
The running game for Lake was phenomenal. Ty DeGeorge played all over. He played quarterback. He played running back. They had him out in the slot at wide receiver.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So coming off that injury, they were just showcasing his talent, trying to get him the ball as many ways possible as they could. So it's going to be an exciting season to see how they build with Ty and him coming into the season healthy and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be great to watch what team Coach Dan DeGeorge brings out week 1 for the Lake Blue Streaks, a team that Mr. Louisville over here, Brian Beatty, knows a lot about, and that is the Louisville Leopards. They will have a new head coach this year in Jake Adkins. The team went 6-5 last year. Coach Chris Kappas moving on to Mount Union to be their defensive coordinator. So shout out to Coach Kappas. Always a great interview. Always makes time for us as commentators and reporters and whatnot. Always a good time to talk to him. So wish him nothing but the best of luck at Mount Union. But now it's Jake Adkins, and I mean he looks. If you've seen him, he's very muscular, like
very intimidating.
Very intimidating, and I cannot wait for him to sit down and I get to talk to him a little bit, get to know him. But again, Louisville's one of those teams where they could really have a phenomenal season. I mean, they had a great team last year. There were certain games where they just couldn't close the deal.
Yeah.
Like they would be leading and then all of a sudden they weren't, and then they couldn't get back into it.
Yeah, they struggled almost like a roller coaster, up and down, had great momentum. And once they got to that peak, they couldn't keep the pedal down and let teams back in the game. And I think that was really, like you said, that was their big downfall. And hopefully this new staff can come and preach home, hey, let's change this up a little bit, or let's move things around, move people around, and see where we can help each other.
Yeah, I mean, you need a team to play for a full 48 minutes. You can't play for 36.
No,
can't play for 40. You've got to give
48 minutes,
everything.
every single play.
Exactly. Another coach we'll get to talk to, Marlington Dukes head football coach Joe Cardinal. Team went 3-7 last year, but the Dukes have talent. They are very, very good. I was talking to our Christian Bigglesworth. He did get a chance to call some Marlington games, and he was telling me like they have some talent. It was a freshman quarterback last year, so now he's got another year under his belt. They've got they got a great running back, a great receiver. So can Coach Cardinal get him to put it all together? And could we see a potential 6-5? Could we see could we see something from them? Yeah. A 5-5 season where, you want something to build on. Yeah. And again, you want to build on 3-7. So maybe you go 4-6 and like sometimes it takes baby steps. But
it definitely, and especially throwing in a freshman quarterback in a varsity game underneath the lights. It's a big change from playing middle school football. And all of a sudden you're going against 18, maybe some 19-year-olds that have lived in the weight room every single day.
Right.
You're seeing coverages you're not used to seeing and in development. So it'll be nice to see him in his sophomore year. Hopefully he doesn't get that sophomore slump where he's really struggling. Now teams have a lot of film on him, but hopefully, like you said, baby steps, trying to improve one game at a time.
Absolutely. The next two coaches on our list I'm going to skip because I'm looking at the time, and I want to make sure we talk about him because I really want to. Next, we're going to go down on the list a guy who I'm a huge fan of, loved him at Perry. He moves on to Minerva, 5-5 last year. I'm talking about Coach Zach Slates. Minerva had a phenomenal season last year, and I cannot wait to see what he's able to do
year two.
with a year two, and what can you do with the team that you have?
Yeah, and like you were saying, in year two, all right, you're going into your full off season.
Right.
Your kids know what to expect from you. They know what your mentality is. They see what happened year one. All right, let's build off that. We have all that energy. We have all that excitement.
Oh my goodness!
Let's leave a legacy.
The city of Minerva,
yes.
like they love their football team and they will rally around them and their social media posts and just how they support their team is incredible, and I love it. So it'll be interesting. I can't wait to talk to him. Another guy I love and is an amazing coach, head coach John DeMarco from Northwest. They went 6-5 last year. I know you got to call some Northwest games. You may have done all of them.
Every single one of their home games, I think they called.
What did you think about Coach DeMarco and the Northwest Indians?
I'm very familiar with Coach DeMarco. Coach DeMarco was the offensive coordinator at Green High School when I went to Green High School.
Yeah, I know, right?
And
you're dating us.
I am
right?
dating myself. So yes, he was our offensive coordinator then. Great guy, great coach, very positive with all the kids. Always has something positive to say. Really good with the yes and. You know, he fills you in with the correction, but he's like, yes and let's try this. As the team last year, they were led by 2 seniors. Your senior quarterback and you had a senior running back that just took over games. And I think that's going to be interesting to see where they can fill in those 2 positions. Now, those guys were transferred in from different programs just because their parents changed jobs or this and that. And but it'll be real interesting to see what he can do with a whole set of specialty guys that are new this year.
Absolutely. I know we got to do a game with Northwest in Louisville. And it was a very fun, exciting, defensive game. It was great. Which team was going to break the chain and get a touchdown? It was so much fun. But Coach DeMarco, he's one of those down to earth.
Yeah, very down to earth.
I would sit and just listen to him tell a story.
Yeah, and he was
7 years now at Northwest.
And he was
7
great.
years, and it feels like it was just yesterday he was there.
And last year they did really well, but I think the thing that they struggled with is they got into games where they had a lead and then they'd kind of give it up. Like one big play would give it up and change the whole momentum of the game, especially in that Canton South game. I mean, they were giving Canton South the business up and down the field. Canton South had a couple big passes and it broke the game completely open.
Yeah.
And it changed everything, the outcome. So it'll be interesting. Love Coach DeMarco. Love what he's done at Northwest. It'll be interesting to see what he can do with some new talent coming in or guys filling in positions that have graduated.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll finish the list of our coaches panel. You are watching and listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Since day one of your child's life, you've been all hands in. At Cleveland Clinic Children's, we make our patients a very similar promise to be the hands you can trust, no matter what specialty care is needed. As Northeast Ohio's trusted children's hospital, when their health needs a helping hand, put their care in hands you trust. Learn more at clevelandclinicchildrens.org/hands.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. The 3.4% inflation rate for July was below projections of 3.5% from experts polled by the Wall Street Journal. The inflation rate was 3.5% in June and 4.2% in May. Gas prices fell nearly 3% in July. Although prices rose in the shelter category that covers housing costs, the increase was 0.1% as prices fell at hotels, motels, and other accommodations. Grocery prices dropped 0.1% in July, posting an overall annual increase of 2.7%. Core CPI, which strips out energy and food costs, rose 0.2% in July, 2.5% for the year. That rate last occurred in January and February and was what CNN termed a nearly 5-year low. Russia attacked Ukrainian cities with missiles, drones, and glide bombs Tuesday, killing at least 10 civilians, as President Vladimir Zelensky said Moscow is getting new military help from North Korea. Zelensky said Russian forces used ballistic missiles supplied by North Korea in an overnight attack on the southeastern city of Zaporizhzhia, where a company said 7 workers at a steel plant were killed and 21 injured. 3 more people, including a 15-year-old boy, were killed by Russian drones and artillery in a central region. In addition to the missiles, North Korea preparing to deploy more of its troops to Russia. Communist Francesca Hong, the Democrat frontrunner in Wisconsin's gubernatorial race, lost Tuesday night in a major upset. Hong held leads from 11 to 22% in the 5 most recent polls. while she lost by 39.8 to 39.4%. Member of the Wisconsin State Assembly since 2020, opposes Thanksgiving once the U.S. Senate and ICE abolished, intended to end Wisconsin's school choice program, admitted to having a bipolar disorder, and called the police twice over what she thought was a pro-Israel display. Her closest rival, Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, dropped out 2 weeks ago and endorsed her. Pollsters stopped polling a week and 2 weeks before Election Day under the assumption the race was over. Republican nominee Tom Tiffany now faces Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, who earlier dropped out of the race and did not campaign over the final month. Fourth criminal court of the Syrian capital, Damascus, Tuesday sentenced former dictator Bashar Assad to death in absentia for war crimes and crimes against humanity. Assad lost the war in December 2024 when an alliance of insurgents and jihadis stormed Damascus and drove him into exile in Russia. He's reportedly been living comfortably in Moscow, though President Vladimir Putin is negotiating with the new government to retain control of key Russian military bases. The Syrian junta, led by former al-Qaeda Lieutenant Ahmed al-Shara, created a commission to bring at least symbolic justice to members of the Assad regime. The court handed down death sentences to nearly a dozen regime officials, with Assad held responsible above all for ordering state institutions to commit crimes against humanity. 76 degrees at 4:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Partly sunny afternoon skies for your Wednesday. We'll throw in the mention of an isolated thunder shower in one or two spots. 82 degrees for the high. Overnight, same story. Isolated thunder, a lot of clouds, our low, middle 60s. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
I think we'll just listen to Jimmy Eat World for a little bit. You are back listening, watching to the Sam Bourquin Show here on AM 1310 WDPN. I am not Sam Bourquin. I am not Ryan Keller. I am Mike Voorhees. Filling in with me on my right is Mike Dixon, part of the Q92 Sports Network. We are live from St. Haralambos Church in Canton for the 2026 high school football coaches preview. I can't wait. We're about an hour away. Coaches are going to start trickling in.
Yes, I'm ready for it to not to be like so
It is
quiet.
so quiet in here.
Eerily quiet in
There's
here.
another radio show that's going on right now, and like it's
bouncing off each other.
Exactly, that's what we're doing. So we when we went to break, we were talking about Coach DeMarco at Northwest. Somebody that you know very well, Ryan Rowland, your former tag team partner from last year, says Marlington sophomore quarterback reminds me of Poochie Snyder from Canton South 2 to 3 years ago. And we know how talented Poochie Snyder was. Poochie Snyder was incredible at Canton South.
Really changed everything in that program that year.
Mhm.
Like, brought a lot of eyes onto the program that normally aren't there, was a heck of a player, led that team on a nice little run.
Mhm.
And if he can live up to that expectation that Mr. Rowland says that he reminds him of, I mean, they're in for some great things.
Absolutely. And so, yeah, I'm excited to see what Marlington can do this year. A team that we'll get to see week 1, the Perry Panthers, led by head coach Spencer Lino. Went 5-5 last year, had an up and down year, but I think this could be a different year.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm excited. They have a scrimmage I believe at home this week that I'm going to try to get to and get on the sidelines and kind of get the feel for the team going into week 1. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those teams that you play in a really tough conference.
Mm-hmm.
It is survival of the fittest. And he came in there, held his own, being his first year at Perry last year, I believe. Right? Is that correct?
Say that one more
Was
time.
that his first year at
Yes, this is his second year.
Yeah.
At
So
Perry.
and it's a big difference coming into the Federal League and seeing that type of caliber of a program across from you, coaching against those types of coaches every single Friday. That set the tone for the Federal League. I mean, Stark County is football central.
We know how crazy Stark County goes for high school football. We know the Federal League is loaded. Every year, there's usually 1 or 2 teams that come out and surprise everyone. No one thought it was going to happen. I'm going on record right now, and I'm saying that Perry is a team to watch this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I don't have any inside information or anything like that. I just think they are a team that could potentially take the Federal League title.
Yeah, there definitely have never been a team you can sleep on.
No, not
Definitely
at all.
not.
Again, we have another new coach that we'll get to meet this year. Isaiah Robinson takes over at St. Thomas Aquinas. St. Thomas last year 0-10. A rough year for them last year, but a new blood with Coach Isaiah Robinson. And I know you got to see one of their scrimmages, and you said their staff is very vocal, very intense, I think was the word that you used.
Yeah, extremely intense. And it was exciting to see it almost as you know, I was there as someone to watch the game in both teams, but it made you excited about the program. You know, they would bark out something, and then the defense on the side had the reply for it, and it would be nothing about anything. It would be like something, and then the whole defense would scream "Knights out" or whatever, and they got after it. I know they played Waterloo, not known to be such a super dominant team, but they went out there and defensively got after the ball. That quarterback for Waterloo was running for his life every single play. They're athletic. They're fast. They had a couple big plays down the sidelines, 2 nice run plays, 1 nice pass play that got them into the end zone 3 times.
Oh, wow. Okay,
so
great.
It looks like they could be on the upswing this year, you know, fresh staff in there, new way of thinking things, getting the guys excited to be out on the field. Because I know you're going towards the end of the year. You haven't won a game yet. It's a struggle to want to put on that helmet, to want to put on those pads. And going into the season, you've got to refresh everybody, come in with new ideas. And I think this staff has what it takes. Just watching that scrimmage and the energy they brought to their players to change things around.
I'm excited. We actually get to see St. Thomas Aquinas on a Thursday night battle Canton Central Catholic. I'll call it the Holy War. We don't need to call it that, but
big rivalry.
It's a rivalry game, and that'll be great to kind of watch and to look at. I'm excited to see how that goes. I mean, both teams are kind of on the upswing after having disappointing seasons last year, so it'll be very cool to see. Another first-year coach that we'll get to talk to, Sandy Valley has a new head football coach. Terrence Carl takes over a team that went 4-6 last year. I'm excited. Sandy Valley is one of those schools that kind of I think people forget about. And I love going down to Magnolia, going into that stadium, and it is like you're going into a different world.
Yes,
and it's so much fun. The atmosphere down there, I mean, you are in – I call it God's country.
It is Friday Night Lights country.
It
is your typical football town. Shut all the lights off, lock the doors, head to the stadium, and the buzz and the electricity you feel coming from the stands when you're in that press box, it surges through you, man. It makes you excited to watch the game, to call the game. I know last year wasn't quite up to par from what they wanted to do. They got a fresh start this year, and like you said, they're a team that I feel everyone kind of forgets about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it'll be great. I know Coach Brian Gamble, who was there, is now on the staff at Glen Oak, and it'll be really cool to see how he kind of helps Coach Dennison turn that Glen Oak team around. But Sandy Valley is one of those teams you cannot sleep on. They may come out and have a 6-4, a 7-3 season, and you'll be like, what just happened?
Yeah.
So another coach from Tuslaw, Brock Dial, team that went 4-6. Tuslaw, I mean, talk about another school where, you know, people kind of forget because it's in Massillon, and of course everybody in Massillon kind of roots for
the Tigers,
for the Tigers. And not saying that the Tigers are bad, but like it's tough when you have to live in the shadow of like a big brother.
Yeah. It's being such a large program, and you're literally on their doorstep, and you know all the news outlets, everybody covers them. You're in town, everything's orange and black when you go further into town, and yeah, they're a team that everybody forgets about. And I'm going to tell you, Brock Dial has to be one of the top coaches' names.
I love it. Yeah, the name itself is incredible. I can't wait to chat with him. The 2 teams that we skipped over, I'm sure you can figure out who they are. They'll play week 10 down at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. It's the War of 1894. It is the big game, right? We're talking about Massillon and McKinley, if you haven't figured that out. So let's talk about McKinley. Renzi Parnell 9-3 last year. McKinley looked the part. Every game they were in, every game there was something. There was a big play. There was a sack or an interception or a kick return. You thought Canton McKinley was going to do it last year. I really thought, and I know that they came up short in their playoff game, and I was heartbroken when McKinley lost. But Renzi Parnell, Renzi obviously was at Hoban, now he's at McKinley. This is year number 2 for him. What do you think what do you think McKinley's going to do this year? I guess would be my question.
They have a really tough beginning of the season.
They do.
Week 1, home against Warren Harding.
Warren Harding is a team you can't sleep on.
No, definitely not. Week 2, you're going to St. Ed's. I know that they've kind of been asleep the last few years, but it is still
that's St. Ed's. That's going to be a game.
It's still going to be a game, and you're going on the road up to St. Ed's. Week 3, okay, you have Sandusky, then you get into some Federal League games, but to start 1 and 2 of that season with those 2 tough games, it's going to set the tone for the whole season.
Right, exactly.
Especially week 1 at home against Warren Harding is going to just be phenomenal. I think they have a lot to build on from what they did last year. They have the film, they have the keys. Can they fix everything and make it perfect?
And they're loaded with talent and speed, and it is every year. It's just, again, I said this earlier and I hate to use it again, but it's that next man up at McKinley. Again, just year after year, they just continue to bring these kids, and I'm excited. I know everybody's going to circle the calendar. October.
Always is.
October 24th.
Always is.
The 24th, when it's McKinley traveling down to Massillon. And now we get to talk to Nate Moore, who went 9-4 at Massillon last year. Xavier Owens, a very talented running back, and he was a sophomore last year, and he was incredible.
But then you add Feaster into that backfield. Feaster brothers, but you add Feaster into that backfield. And I know seeing him run a couple times when they played Lake in the playoffs 2 or 3 years ago, he can run, and he's got so much strength and his legs and his arms that he can just break one open, bust tackles, and go from there. So the talent that they acquired this season in the offseason is unheard of.
Well, they picked up a left tackle. I believe he's a tackle from Nordonia. He's like 6'9".
Yeah,
340 pounds, and he's got so many Division I college scholarship offers.
Well, and then what is it? The younger Feaster brother just got his 20th offer.
Bryden.
UNC just offered him.
Wow.
I think they posted it like 10 minutes ago.
Great, congrats for him.
Yeah,
I know on Friday, for those if you have time, Brayton Feaster is going to be featured on the Pat McAfee show, which airs on ESPN. From noon until I believe 2:00.
Yep.
Where early, I think around noon-ish, Brayton is going to make his college decision. He's going to sit at a table with 4 hats, and he's going to let the world know where he's going. And
he's got Cal, Oregon, Ohio State, and Georgia are his final 4.
I hope he's going to the OH.
I really feel that Oregon.
You think he's going to be a Duck?
I do think he's going to be a Duck, or I think he's going to be a Bulldog.
You think he could go to either? So you're thinking it's down to Georgia and Oregon?
For some odd reason, yeah. I feel like Oregon's a great fit for him. Georgia's a great fit. Really well. I know Ohio State's known for their linebackers, but Georgia is also known for having tough, strong.
Kirby Smart is an incredible coach, and even at Oregon, Dan Lanning is an amazing coach, but Ohio State has Ryan Day, and it's Ohio State. And I just think it would make all the sense in the world. The hometown kid goes to Ohio State and helps Ohio State win a national title. It writes itself.
It does. Now, me not being an Ohio State fan, I don't want to see him go there.
That's right. You root for that team up north, don't you?
I do.
Oh, no.
And but no, I honestly feel like Cal is the far dark horse.
Well, yeah, I mean, Cal is a beautiful state. I mean, just the scenery, the atmosphere in itself. It is and I love the term. I love that you called it a dark horse because I think it is. He could shock the world.
Yeah.
And put on the Cal Bears hat. And I would be stunned because
I think everybody would be stunned.
You look at the other three schools that they're up against, but there's obviously a reason that Cal has made it to the Final Four.
Yeah.
He obviously likes something about Cal. Right. And maybe he could be that missing piece that they need in order to elevate themselves and to the next level. But again, Friday, tune into the Pat McAfee show and kind of see where Brayton's going to go. It's going to be exciting. I know that they're going to be allowing people in at Massillon to kind of watch it. And it's something that I would love to ask Coach more about is like, what are your expectations when you have a player of that caliber with all this national attention now? Like, what does that mean for your program? Does it mean like you now have extra lights and extra eyes now on your team?
I mean, you're already in Ohio have the most eyes, the most lights on the team. Year in and year out, you're what's known as the team to beat. Always. And to add this national attention to it is going to be something and very interesting to see what they can do with it. Can they build on it? Can they make it like, all right, we're going to get some national televised games sometimes. You know, we have these big star recruits. Can we build off that? Massillon's a great program, and they did some wonderful renovations to Paul Brown. I mean,
Paul Brown's going to look amazing this year.
That billboard of a scoreboard they put on the opposite end from the other scoreboard is massive. So it's going to be a great season for them. They also start off really tough, playing against Glenville, opening up the season.
I mean, Glenville in itself. I mean, Coach Ginn is a legend.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to say that I have his cell phone number in my phone. And he's somebody that I can text or call and talk to. Like, Coach Ginn is incredible. And I'm really looking forward to that Glenville Massillon game. I think all of Ohio is going to wonder, because I think that's going to tell the story. I mean, everybody's like, oh, what division is Glenville going to be in? Are they going to stay in Division 4? Are they going to be forced to move up to 3? Are they going to go to Division 2? Like, where do they fall? And again, we don't know.
Yeah.
But again, Glenville every year, it's
a reload.
It's state title.
Yeah.
They run through the regular season, they get into the playoffs, and then they're in the state title game. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, talking to these coaches and just listening to them and figuring out how the off season has gone and the scrimmages. Now that we're almost done with scrimmages, and it's going to be another team on the other side, right? You guys are in one color, they're in another color, and now you get to hit people.
Yeah.
And you really get to go. You get to put the pedal down. You get to do the things that you've been practicing and the things that you have been preparing for all summer.
Definitely.
The two-a-days, the heat, everything.
Yeah, I mean, you start and literally you start building, and almost as soon as you're done with the season, you have your dedicated kids that are right back in the weight room, ready to fix things, ready to get things going, and you're just building for the next season. And then you hit your summer, and you're out there conditioning. You're up early in the morning, 6 a.m. on the field practice, sun's still coming up. Fog's coming off the field, heat's starting to hit in. To build a program that way all through the summer, and then to have from 2 scrimmages, now you're seeing a lot of more teams getting that 7-on-7, which, you know, when I played high school football, that really wasn't a big thing.
That wasn't a thing.
No,
right.
Like, I think we did it once, and we went over to Louisville and did a 7-on-7, and that was like something new, like very unheard of. But going into now, I mean, everybody gets 7-on-7s. You get 2 of those, 3 of those over the summer. Then you get 2 scrimmages. And by the time you're ready for the regular season, you kind of know what you have already. The pregame jitters are kind of done. And this weekend, going into those scrimmages, I know there's a couple tomorrow, there's some on Friday, and a couple Saturday morning. Then you can really build in what you're going to do for week 1.
Right, and everybody's talking about Massillon, and I get it. They're playing 4 Ohio teams, and then the other 6 are out-of-state teams. But that's because they want to play people of their talent caliber. And hats off to
Hats off
Nate
to
Moore and
Glen Oak
and
too.
Glen Oak and I mean, you get to really see exactly where your program lines up to a team like Massillon when you play each other. Massillon's gonna play Harding. Massillon is gonna play St. Ed's. Massillon is gonna play this is great for them because some of those teams, they want to know where they would be if they were of that talent. How does it go? So you open the season at Glenville, right? And then you go play
Glen Oak. And then you have NFL Academy from London coming to Massillon.
I mean, that's going to be a time change for them for sure. And then they're playing Kinesis from Buffalo, New York.
Yep.
And then St. Ed's. And then they're playing that
football North Clarkson out of
Clarkson
Ontario.
from Ontario, Canada.
And you have team from PA, Pharrell from PA. Then you have Cornerstone Christian coming in from San Antonio, Texas.
And they're supposed to be a powerhouse.
Yes. That
is a game I have circled on my calendar.
Yeah. And then you have Warren Harding, and you finish
in
your season.
Warren Harding.
Yeah.
At Mollenkoff Stadium.
Yeah. And then you finish off at home against your rival.
Yeah, against McKinley, although it hasn't really been much of a rivalry. I'll say it. I'll say it.
But it's always going.
It's still a great game.
Everyone's
still
the
a
passion
great game.
is still going to be there. The dislike and distaste for the other team is still going to be there. So no, we are set for a great football season.
Oh, I know. It's going to be so exciting. Week 1 is going to be here before you know it. A week from tomorrow, we kick it off at Q92 with 2 games, one on Q92 FM, and then we'll have one on YouTube, which will be Chardon and Jackson. And then Friday night, 7 games.
7. I
cannot wait.
It is phenomenal to be able to send out groups to cover so many games. And, a lot of people aren't able to get to those away games or don't feel comfortable in large crowds. And it's phenomenal that we're able to bring them those games at home. You get the feel. You get our play-by-play guys are great describing how everything is.
Yeah.
And it's exciting to be a part of.
And you know what? How much it costs? It's free.
It's free.
$0. So you can tune in on Facebook. You can tune in on X. You can tune in. Every game will be on YouTube. I mean, we do, and I know I'm going to sound biased. I'm going to sound like I'm a homer because I got the logo behind me. But I believe that Q92 Sports is the best in Stark County. I think that we're able to do things that others can't, and being able to do 1 game on the FM, 1 game on the AM, and then 5 stream games. And we're able to cover some of these epic football games.
Yeah.
And then to be a part of our text chain and hear about some of these games and hear about some of these players. And it kind of just gets you ready to go. I know talking to a lot of these coaches tonight, I need to dial it back a little bit because some of these coaches, man, they talk and they're like,
oh yeah. They're ready to
go. And
the big thing about it is that it's not just the Stark County teams we get to see. Okay, day 1, I'm going up to Chardon. I'm seeing a team that I've never watched in football,
Chardon
but
Hilltoppers.
I know they have some history. Or when Lake and Boardman play each other, and these other teams that are outside. Okay, we're not talking about Green, but we're covering some Green games.
We are.
And I know they're a Summit County team, but man, they're right on that border. They're a federal league team, and they're exciting to watch. I mean, Coach Geis has done some great things over there.
Yeah, Coach Geis. Love chatting with Coach Geis. I got to call several Green games last year, including that Green Lake game in Week 10 that put Green into the playoffs, and then I had the opportunity to call Green's opening round playoff game up in Garfield Heights, and got to watch Green win that game. And obviously, graduating from Green as you did, as I did, that once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog kind of chimes in, and you try not to be, you try not to be biased. We try to be as neutral as Switzerland.
Yeah.
And it's hard sometimes, especially when you get into the playoffs and you want to root for your local teams. You want to root for the teams from Stark County and surrounding counties. You want to see them continue to do well and potentially battle for a state title.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's great also. You have a lot to see, and so many great players come out of Stark County.
Of course.
Every single year. And, you get familiar with the names and you watch these kids grow. And it's exciting to see. And I think that's a big thing is why these communities love their school system and their sports team so much is because they can remember when they were there.
Mm-hmm.
They can remember when they were a part of a team. Oh, did they have a great season when we were there? Or this coach really changed who I was and how I did things. And it's great to see and great to be a part of Ohio high school football in Stark County and Southern Summit County and see some of these teams.
There's nothing better on a Friday night where you get to sit in a stadium that's packed on both sides and people are cheering and you're watching two teams go back and forth and in such a way. It's like football does a great job of telling a story. And it's so much fun that we get to sit and call these games and we sit up in a booth and we get to watch it. And it's so much fun that we get to see the fans and how excited they get and how they jump all over the refs if the refs miss a call or they feel the refs miss a call. And it'll be great when we jump into week 1 because it's going to be everybody's first real game.
Yeah, and
it's going to take a little bit of time for everybody to kind of get reacclimated to.
Oh yeah, and it's in the same way because if you think about it, watching these scrimmages I've watched, the officials are trying to get back in the swing of things.
They've been sitting at home too.
A lot of these officials do multiple sports.
Right.
I've seen some guys out on the sidelines that are lacrosse officials or have been umpires at my daughter's softball games or volleyball games.
Mm-hmm.
And they officiate and they love giving back to different games. So yes, they're also in the same boat of trying to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, absolutely. As we creep closer to the top of the hour, we're going to step aside. We're going to hear the news from Clint Marshall, the weather from Mark Jones. I heard it's not supposed to rain, so you've got that. If you haven't mowed your grass, it's probably going to be a good couple of days to do that. You are listening and watching the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
An important part of the Alliance community since 1953. You're listening to AM 1310, WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Caroline Leavitt is leaving her role as White House press secretary. President Trump announced her upcoming departure. Leavitt is the youngest person to hold the position. She leaves at the end of the month. No word yet on her replacement. The Ebola outbreak in Congo on track to surpass the deadliest on record more than a decade ago that killed more than 11,000 people. The head of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, says the majority of cases in eastern Congo is considered the fastest growing one yet, killing over 2,000 people since the WHO declared the outbreak in May.
The outbreak had a big head start. It's still way ahead of us, and we're playing catch up.
The rare virus blamed for this Ebola outbreak has no approved vaccines or treatments. Inflation dipped slightly last month compared to June from 3.5% to 3.4%. Prices in many sectors are still high, though, including groceries and transportation. This is ABC News.
Progressive knows that boat days can come with unexpected problems.
Oh no, I dropped my lip balm in the water. I can't think of anything worse than the looming threat of potentially having chapped lips. It was ginger vanilla too, my favorite flavor.
If a real problem comes along, your boat's protected 24/7 with Progressive, so you can keep worrying about boater problems. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
Okay, all signed up. Easy. Now let's run payroll. What the? Hey girl, I'm you with more gusto. Nice. Who's that? New social media manager, hired and onboarded with gusto. And spoiler, we're kind of famous now. Wait, we're famous? Oh, well, I'm famous. Payroll, benefits, and HR. Designed and built for small businesses. Choose a future with gusto.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Clint Marshall on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. Another arrest has been made in the deaths of two women found in a burning Canton apartment. Repository reports 46-year-old Daryl Washington was arrested by U.S. Marshals in the New Philadelphia area Wednesday afternoon. He's charged with aggravated murder and aggravated arson. Another suspect, Eric Lamar, surrendered Tuesday. 41-year-old Melissa Terrell remains at large on charges including aggravated arson. 42-year-old Katina Spells of Canton and 31-year-old Courtney Yeager of Massillon were found Sunday morning at the Skyline Terrace apartment complex on Allen Page Drive Southeast. Both women suffered severe burns, and police said they had also been shot. A Canton man accused of shooting a woman as she slept has pleaded not guilty to felony charges. 24-year-old Darius Leishman was arraigned August 7th in common pleas court after being indicted by a grand jury. Canton police allege he fired an AK-style pistol multiple times July 3rd, striking Summer Christian in the neck during celebratory gunfire in the 800 block of 20th Street Northeast. Christian was reportedly left paralyzed. Leishman's pretrial hearing is set for August 20th. Man is facing a felony charge after Alliance police say he seriously injured another man during a fight. Officers responded Sunday afternoon to the 500 block of West Main Street. 60-year-old Michael Sejka of Alliance allegedly slammed the victim to the ground and wrestled with him, causing lacerations and facial injuries. Sejka is charged with felonious assault. He was released on bond with supervision. A preliminary hearing set for August 21st. Canal Fulton man sentenced to 17 years to life in prison for sex crimes involving a 12-year-old girl. 19-year-old Tyler Kuhn was found guilty Thursday of rape, gross sexual imposition, and illegal use of a minor in nudity-oriented material. Prosecutors say Kuhn engaged in sexual conduct and sexual contact with the victim and took nude photos between January and October 2025. Common Pleas Judge Frank Forcioni sentenced Kuhn Monday, who must register as a Tier 3 sex offender. A motorcyclist was seriously injured after crashing into the back of a semi on I-77 in Plain Township. Stark County Sheriff's Office says the crash happened just before 6 this morning in the northbound lanes near the Belden Village exit. The rider was taken to Mercy Hospital. Northbound traffic backed up toward Route 62 before the roadway was reopened. Massillon Councilwoman Sarita Cunningham will move from her at-large seat to represent Ward 1. Stark County Republican Precinct Committee members voted 4-1 to appoint her to the seat left vacant by Seth Markham's resignation. She must resign her current seat before taking the new position. Cunningham previously represented Ward 1 for 4 terms. Massillon City Council considering a 10-year, 75% property tax break to help urban construction expand and stay in the city. Company plans to build a 12,000 square foot manufacturing facility off Richville Drive at a cost of about $1.7 million. The Independent reports the project would create 6 full-time jobs and keep 10 existing positions. Council would vote on the tax abatement as early as Monday, with the company hoping to move into the new building by spring 2027. Man is dead after his car left I-77 and hit an embankment in Tuscarawas County. Highway Patrol says 60-year-old Michael Carr of Newcomerstown was driving southbound in Jefferson Township Tuesday afternoon when the crash happened near milepost 74. Carr was pronounced dead at the scene. Troopers say he was not wearing a seatbelt. Drugs and alcohol are not considered factors. The Columbiana County Humane Society asking for help after rescuing 195 animals in less than 2 weeks. The shelter says 113 were seized Monday afternoon from an undisclosed location in the county. The tails are being withheld because of an ongoing investigation. The Humane Society has temporarily closed intake because it's at capacity. Mahoning County Coroner's Office has identified a man whose body was found in a Youngstown backyard last week. 39-year-old Bradley Gordon was identified through fingerprints. His body was found Thursday near West Ravenwood Avenue and Hillman Street by a person gathering wood. Police have not said if foul play is suspected. 7 people in the hospital after a bus and SUV collided on Youngstown's south side. Crash happened around 12:20 Tuesday afternoon, Cameron Avenue and Gibson Street. 2 people in the SUV and 5 people on the bus, including the driver, were taken to hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. The cause of the crash is under investigation. Youngstown man is facing felonious assault charges after police say he forcefully shook a newborn who was left in his care. Court documents say 29-year-old Christian Jones later admitted shaking the baby at the family's Struthers home because it wouldn't stop crying. The baby was found unconscious and turning blue when his parents returned home August 5th. The boy remains on life support, Jones being held on $50,000 bond. The Highway Patrol investigating a fatal crash involving an e-bike in Warren Township. 49-year-old William Blair of Leavittsburg lost control of his e-bike on Todd Avenue around 9 Tuesday night and fell into the roadway. He was hit by a truck and then by a second vehicle. Blair died at the scene. Alcohol is suspected as a factor. The crash is under investigation. 76 degrees at 5:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
When man's best friend chases the family cat through the window screen, you need a rapid repair from Bonford Glass. In warmer weather, accidents can happen. When a hole in your window or door screen is keeping you from enjoying the fresh air, take that torn screen to Bonford's for a speedy, expert repair. You think of Bonford's for glass repair, but don't forget, they can take care of just about any problem you may have with a window or door, including screens. If your screens are old, worn, corroded, or torn, bring them into Bonford Glass and Alliance. Replace those shabby old screens with new aluminum or fiberglass ones that will wear better and last longer. Bonford's experts give you the quality you can depend on and service that's unsurpassed. So even if your best pal chased the cat through the window screen, just take it to Bonford's for a rapid repair. For all your glass and window needs, rely on Bonford Glass, 30 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
82 warm degrees for your Wednesday high. Slight chance for an afternoon thunder shower in a couple of spots, otherwise partly sunny. Overnight, isolated rumbles of thunder here and there, mainly cloudy. Our low 65. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball!
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show live from St. Haralumbo's Church in Canton as we're getting ever so closer to the 2026 high school football coaches preview. Again, I am not Sam Bourquin. I am Mike Voorhees filling in for Sammy B. He is on vacation. With me today is Mike Dixon, part of the Q92 Sports Network. Man, we have talked about a lot of things tonight. We've talked about the Guardians. Will they figure it out? That was our poll question of the day. Will the Guardians figure it out? Or will they just pack it in? Are you confident in the Guardians? Can they turn it around? I said no. I'm worried now. I'm hitting the button.
I'm very worried as a huge fan. The fan in me wants them to really turn it around. The sportscaster in me sees some challenges ahead, especially how far we've dropped since the All-Star break is really concerning.
Not great. So hopefully the Guardians can turn it around. Game 2 tonight in Detroit. Foster Griffin on the hill, or Connor Griffin. I don't know. No, Foster Griffin.
You were correct.
I was right. I don't know why I second-guessed myself. Foster Griffin in his second start with the Guardians takes on Framber Valdez of the Tigers. First pitch scheduled for 6:40.
And speaking of baseball, this day in sports history.
Yes, this day in sports history.
You know, I scrolled the internets and found this one.
Interwebs.
I love this fact. So on this day in 1994, the Major League Baseball Players Association decided to go on strike, ending the season and canceling the World Series for the first time since 1906.
And in that season, 1994, I believe the Cleveland Indians were one of the best teams in the league. and they didn't even get to finish the season. So again, this day in sports history, August 12th, 1994, Major League Baseball says, you know what? We're going to shut it down. Season over. World Series not happening. And I have a feeling that we may hear that again in the not so distant future, as we know that a collective bargaining agreement is going to be needed here in the offseason for Major League Baseball. There are talks about the salary cap, and will there be a salary cap and a salary floor, and what are they going to what can they force? Are people going to let them force anything?
It really sounds like, I think this is going to be a hard thing, is that the players are not going to want a salary cap.
Oh, absolutely
not. Your big money-making programs aren't going to want a salary cap.
Correct.
You look at LA, you look at New York, both New York teams, even though the Mets have not been able to do anything with their large.
And they shedded some payroll at the trade deadline.
They did. But then you also look at teams like Tampa, Cleveland, Detroit, the Rangers every now and again, and Milwaukee definitely this season.
I'll tell you what, Jacob Mizorowski with the Brewers, he is the next big thing. I'm telling you right now. I understand Paul Skeens was that guy, but we were talking about this when we got here before we went on the air. Everybody's figured Paul Skeens out now. There's tape on him. You know what he's doing, how he's going to throw, what he's going to throw. Like, those things are now on film, and teams are figuring it out, and now they're teeing off on him. And he does pitch for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and they have had an up and down season as well. And so you wonder, you absolutely wonder what's going to happen as the season creeps on, and we're going to, sit back and watch. Is it going to be a woohoo, the Guardians are going to the playoffs, or is it going to be, oh crap, it's another season of disappointment? So
it's a tough one. Being a Cleveland fan is difficult, especially being
sports fan. Yes,
I'm a huge Guardians fan. Browns okay here and there, but diehard Guardians fan, and the highs are high and the lows are low, and in between you don't know what to do.
Ain't that the truth? Well, again, we're here at the 2026 high school football coaches preview. It's going to start here around 5:30. That's when social hour begins. We're already starting to see some teams and some coaches trickle in. As they come in, Brian Beatty is going to bring them over here to the table. We're going to slap a headset on them. Mike Dixon's going to step out, and I will chat with the coaches here and there. Sam's show goes until 6 o'clock. So at 6 o'clock, we will switch to our Facebook, X, and YouTube. You can continue watching the coaches interview. We'll probably go until about 6:30. That's when the buffet dinner here starts tonight. So we want to make sure that we don't cut off any coaches. So again, Sam's show will end at 6 o'clock, but you can continue to watch on Facebook, X, and YouTube as we continue to talk to some of Stark County's great coaches. Again, going to be a very fun afternoon here. It's getting ready to kick off. Now, I know, Mike, you brought up a very good point. There are so many great quarterbacks in and around Stark County. You found a list.
I did find a list.
And let's hear this list and see if I agree or disagree with what you've got.
So this is in all of 330, and I know some of them are outside are Stark, but I'm going to hit on some of the ones that are. And
they're going to be names that we need to know.
Yes. So Grady Hurst out of West Branch.
Oh, Grady Hurst. Yes. Another year at the helm for Grady. We know West Branch year in, year out. Great program. Coach Tim Cooper has those guys ready to go. And the Warriors, I have a feeling, are locked and loaded for yet another run at a division title.
Yeah, talk about a football town. That is definitely a football town.
That's where you and I will be week 10 of the Ohio high school football season.
Well, and I was shocked when I went out to watch Lake Scrimmage West Branch, how many fans were there for a Friday afternoon. Was very, very surprising.
Everybody loves football. All right, who else is on this list?
All right, so going up, a team we're going to see, which is right above our West Branch, is Glenville's Lamarquez Greenwood.
Lamarcus Greenwood the second. Yes, this kid is very talented, very, very highly touted. I believe he is a dual threat quarterback. Very, very good. So Glenville, again, just next man up. Some of these programs, it's just next man up. It's like a revolving door, and it's a new guy at the helm. I know there's a name on that list, and I'm going to say it now before you do. And he plays for the Massillon Tigers, and his name is Manny Patterson. Manny had a great season last year, so yet another year at the helm, loaded with weapons now with Xavier Owens, Brayton Feaster, Bryden Feaster. There is talent all around. The offensive line is loaded. The defensive line is loaded. Linebackers. It is going to be a phenomenal season, I think, for Manny Patterson, and I'm excited to see what Massillon can do this year.
Yeah, it'll be great. Right under him is Green's quarterback, Chase Herbert.
Chase Herbert. Now, this is a name I will be honest, being a Green grad, I don't know a lot about Chase Herbert. I didn't even see him on the depth chart last year. So that tells me he's either a freshman or he transferred in. I don't know much about him. I do know, though, that he is being talked about in a lot of circles as one of the up-and-coming quarterbacks to watch in the Federal League.
Yeah, and like you said, it's a name I'm unfamiliar with. They've been known the last few years to have some great quarterbacks, so it'll be really interesting to see what happens there. All right, our next quarterback is Braylon Crook out of McKinley.
Yes, he is very talented as well. He is going to have a phenomenal season. I mean, McKinley, we talked about their schedule a little bit earlier. We talked about they're starting with the gauntlet. They're gonna go to Harding, I believe.
Yep, Harding. They host Harding week
home
one,
and then home against Harding, away at St. Ed's. I mean, those are two gauntlet games right out of the rip, and then you got Massillon at the end of the season. So McKinley is going to have to get off to a fast start, and I think they can do that with their quarterback.
All right, our next Federal League quarterback is someone that we've already talked about, and I would say he's a Swiss Army knife. Ty DeGeorge out of Lake.
Yes, Ty DeGeorge, Coach Dan DeGeorge's son. Watched him multiple times last year. Very talented. Watching him on offense, defense. He played quarterback, running back, wide receiver. Watched him return kicks. Watched him play defensive back, safety. He is. I think if we want to coin it now, we can call him the Swiss Army knife. I'm very excited to see the season that he has. Another year of being able to put it all together. Another year under the tutelage of his father, which that's got to be awesome. Being able to have your dad, not only as your dad, but your coach. And I think it's going to be a question that I ask Coach DeGeorge. What's it like? Do you feel like you're harder on your son than some of the other players because it's your son? Or does he get the same treatment as everybody else?
I feel like he had to get the same treatment.
You
and
would
on the other hand, it's got to be hard for Ty.
Exactly.
Because you have probably a higher expectation because you got to go home and hear about it.
Ooh, yeah, you got to sit around the dinner table and the breakfast table.
And last year I was in the classroom with Ty's mom because I work at Lake Primary School, and just to hear that, Coach DeGeorge goes home, sits down and watches film at home, and all right, does he make Ty come in and sit with him? So no, it probably has its ups and its downs.
Yeah.
Being a high school coach myself, and my daughter plays the girls' version of the game that I coach. I mean, I don't want to say I'm tough on her. I don't coach her, but I'm like, hey, we need to sit down and watch film. Or if we're watching a normal game on TV, I hit rewind and I'm like, did you see that? Look how they walk through it. And I swear she hates me for it and doesn't want to watch sports with me. So it could be one of those things. So our next quarterback isn't in our area.
Okay.
But he is the number one quarterback in the state of Ohio.
Okay, and that would be?
And that would be Bryson Hall out of Wadsworth.
Yes, Bryson Hall comes exactly as advertised. He's got the size. He's got the arm strength. He has the legs. He can beat you on the run if need be. Wadsworth has a very talented team. They are going to be fun to watch. And, yes, they are outside of Stark County. They're more in Medina. I get it, but he is a very, very talented human being. It'll be exciting to kind of see what Wadsworth will do. And I know every morning on Saturday after we've worked a Friday night, I get on the different websites and look up the scores of the different games, and that's going to be a team that I'm following throughout the season.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because I don't know if you saw any video like earlier in the spring, the football teams had like a almost like a pro day where they invited some of the colleges to come out and scout their players. The amount of kids that were at coaches that were at Wadsworth to watch that young man throw the ball was insane.
Yeah, he's very, very talented. So yeah, it'll be exciting. I mean, to watch some of these kids, grip it and rip it, so to speak.
Yes.
So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch. All right, give me another name on our list here.
Noah Menard out of Jackson.
Yes, he's not sure if he'll start. Not sure what Coach Rohr has up his sleeve this year, but he is somebody that a lot of eyes are on, hearing that he is a very, very talented individual. So yeah, excited to if Jackson's got to run a two quarterback system, then by all means.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever helps you win games, that's what you do.
It's not the first time we've seen a team do that. I mean, if you look at Lake last year, they ran Choir and DeGeorge when they could.
Yep.
Not in our area of Stark County, but a very interesting name because it's a team that pops up. It's almost kind of a rivalry for another one. Is Israel Cribbs out of Archbishop Hoban.
He has a different first name, if I'm correct.
So
I think that's his government name.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I thought his first name was King. I could be wrong. Or Master. It's something.
Okay.
But it is Josh Cribbs' son. So very excited for him. He'll be at Hoban. Again, the Knights going to have another, I'm sure, talented team. But yeah, excited to see. I think we've got one of our very first coaches coming over that's going to join us here on the Sam Bourquin Show. And here we go. What's going on, Coach?
How's it going?
Fantastic. It is Terrence Carl.
Yep.
Of the Sandy Valley Cardinals. Coach, welcome in.
Thank you.
I'm not Sam Bourquin. I'm filling in for Sam Bourquin, but very excited. What's going through your head? Obviously, your first coach's preview dinner.
I don't know. I'm a little nervous, not going to lie. Getting in front of a group of random strangers. It's a little situation, but, at this point, 2 months ago, I was in front of a group of random strangers that were my team, and now I know them way too well. So,
Coach, obviously, your first year at the helm at Sandy Valley, they were 4-6. Obviously, that's not a reflection of you at all. What are some of the things that you've seen so far with some scrimmages and some practices? What seems to be the mentality down in Sandy Valley?
Well, Sandy Valley right now, we were 0-10 last year.
Oh, see, somebody wrote down 4-6.
So
I blame. I'm only as good as my notes.
I
tried to give you more wins. So
I appreciate that. It'd be my first year down there. The kids have been working really hard. I'm really happy with how committed they've been over the course of the summer. We're just working more and more to build the culture that is a winning culture moving forward, and making it so we can build from this point on. We want to make sure that we're doing things the right way at Sandy Valley, and part of that is having total buy-in and doing the things that we need to do.
How excited are the kids? Obviously, summer's wrapping up. They've been scrimmaging. How excited are they to finally hit someone other than their teamates?
Oh, they're absolutely thrilled. We got a scrimmage tomorrow because we got that first Thursday game. So they're super excited. We scrimmaged Strasburg, and then we moved straight into Farrell this week. And I can tell you what, we're going to get good competition out of that. Farrell has a real strong team. Strasburg has a strong team. I think they went like 8-4 last year. So we're going to see how good we are right off the bat.
So, Coach, obviously, what's something that you're looking forward to with it being your first coach's dinner? We'll start here. What's your expectation for tonight? Getting to see some new faces, some people that you may or may not know, eat some great food. Like, what are you looking forward to?
Well, number one, I mean, I got to bring my parents to this one. So my mom and dad are both here. Letting them be able to see just to see what all this work that I've done has paid off to be. And that's something exciting for me. I'm really looking forward to meeting a lot of the other coaches. I've met a couple through 7-on-7 so far, and they've just been great guys. Coach Cardinal over at Marlington, Coach B over at Canton South. Who's the other one? Coach Robinson over at St. Thomas. They've been great guys to be able to talk to over the course of time here, and getting to know these other Stark County coaches will be great too. I'm sure that I'll see a couple people. I already ran into Garth Evans, who's the AD at Minerva. He was one of the people that said, "Hey, you need to apply for the Sandy Valley job," and it worked out for me.
So what made you think when you saw the job opening that you're like, you know what, I'm the right fit for that job?
Well, number one, I'd been down in North Carolina for the past 13 years.
And you came to Ohio?
I'm from Minerva. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I like it.
It was a lot of, hey, I get to come back home, that sort of thing. But really, I met with a lot of the administration, Matt Whitted, Bo Balderson, Olivia Stamp at the time was the principal. And now it's been a whole lot of, there's been a little bit of jumbling since then, but the admin team had me believing that, hey, this is a place that I can go succeed. I had the first interview on Zoom, and I didn't think I had a shot at it. And then the second time, then they called me back and said, hey, we want me in person. And I got the job offer during that in-person interview, and it's been kind of working to onboard ever since. So
I love that. That's fantastic. So obviously you've been down in North Carolina. Football's a little different down there.
It is.
What's something you think you can bring from that North Carolina kind of mentality back home to Canton, Ohio?
So I was lucky enough to work for John Kirby down in North Carolina at Eastern Alamance High School. John he'll cross his 300th win this season, and he really I learned so much from him over the past 9 years, where it's been a lot of things like, hey, you need to listen more and don't just come in, because every young coach comes in and they're headstrong and they've got all the ideas and all the right answers, and then you put it as an X on the field and an O on the field, and then those become kids, and then all of a sudden not all those answers are the right ones. So it's a lot of learning to new ideas, kind of opening up as a person. A natural introvert, so it kind of with that being the case, I learned hey, these are areas where you can get better and go from there, and just how to run a successful program. He's been doing it for 35 years, and at that point, you've got to figure some things out to do it right, and to have the success that he's had over the course of it.
Well, Coach, I know you're getting ready to take off here. Before you go, I got one last question for you. What is one thing that we can look forward to with the Sandy Valley Cardinals this season?
I can say this: the Sandy Valley Cardinals are going to work their butts off, and they're going to compete. We could go 10-0, we could go 0-10, but I know that the kids that I've got out there, I'll be happy to go to work with every day from this point to the end of the season.
Awesome.
They're hard workers, they're coachable, and they're willing to compete.
Awesome. Coach Terrence Carl of the Sandy Valley Cardinals. We're looking forward to catching you this season. We'll be there week 1 with Q92 Sports. You are with the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN. We'll be back right after this.
Thank you.
a vaccine. The subpoena stemmed from the recent release of Fauci's diary. In it, Fauci recorded observations and opinions that often differed from his public COVID guidance. In the wake of Wednesday's subpoena, 3 other states could also bring charges. President Trump Tuesday announced the federal government will no longer use Medicaid funds to cover gender transition surgeries and hormones for minors. Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services finalized a rule ending federal Medicaid and Children's Health Insurance Program funding for what the agency calls sex rejecting procedures on children and youth. It covers puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgical operations. Funding remains available for a tapering off period of up to 6 months for children already on hormone therapy. The rule takes effect October 13th and applies only to federal dollars. Approximately 2.4 million Afghan girls remain barred from secondary education 5 years into Taliban rule. Taliban regained power in Afghanistan in August 2021. By the following March, the Islamic fundamentalist group had shuttered girls' secondary schools, and women were barred from universities in December 2022. Women are also prohibited from teaching boys, contributing to a teacher shortage. Afghanistan's literacy rate is among the world's lowest at roughly 37%. 75 degrees at 5:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
Little mix of clouds and sunshine through your Wednesday afternoon. I can't rule out a pop-up isolated thunder shower in a couple of spots. 82 for the high. Overnight, same story, a little isolated thunder shower in 1 or 2 spots. Lows in the middle 60s. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
It definitely doesn't feel like the first time for my next guest, head coach of the Minerva Lions, Zach Slates. Coach, how we feeling, man? Summer's almost over. It's almost time for football. And we were talking a little bit. This is your 6th dinner.
Yep.
What are you expecting tonight?
No, it's good. It's good to hear from all the guys, all the head coaches, and how their programs are doing. There's no county that's anything like this in the state. These guys here at St. Helens do a great job putting this on, and all of you guys broadcasters do a great job getting all the coaches on and getting us out there.
Well, we were reminiscing while we were at break. Coach Zach Slates was my very first on the field coach interview back when he was at Perry, and we kind of clicked then, and it's kind of been a lot of fun to kind of follow you, Coach. Last year, you guys go 5-5.
Yep.
Great season for Minerva, the entire city, the community, everybody rallying behind you. Like, how did that feel? Like, did that kind of give you that boost that you needed?
Yeah,
like,
it was special. It was really something special. That community is unbelievable. That they were just itching for success, and I mean, I just hold the kids accountable, and they do the work. It's not anything that I do. I'm just there to guide them, and the kids followed, and they listened, and they were hungry for it. And the kids this year have continued that. We had a good senior class last year, so it was hard to replace those kids, but the kids are stepping up this year that we have, and are doing a great job. So I'm excited to get started next week with United. Friday we got East Canton, so that'll be good too.
Yeah, scrimmages are always good because the kids get to hit somebody other than their teammates.
Yeah.
What's something we can kind of look forward to this year for the Minerva Lions?
Yeah, I mean, last year we played with a freshman quarterback, and I mean it was a lot of protecting him and not doing too much and making sure he was comfortable with getting the snap and doing all those things. And we're gonna expand on what he's doing. We're gonna throw the ball more. And we're going to run him some as well. So, but we got a good group of running backs. So we got 3 guys that are really good, 4 guys really that are really good in the backfield, and we got a couple good receivers. And the O-line was the question mark for us. We had 5 kids graduate off of the offensive line from last year.
They retired from high school. You're saying it right. Yeah. They retired.
But we got a lot of young guys on the up front, and it was a big question mark all summer, and whether or not they're going to be tough or not. And we went out last week against Malvern, and they showed some physicality, and when the opposing coach tells you guys out physicaled us, that's always a good sign for you as a coach. So they did a great job last week, and hoping to continue that on Friday.
That's fantastic. I love it, Coach. Minerva, like when you think of Minerva, and this is your second year at Minerva, what's the expectation for you as a coach? Obviously, last year 505 and 5, but what's your expectation of yourself going into year 2?
Yeah, I mean, it's still just trying to build a program, and they didn't really have a program when I got there, and it was just sort of things thrown together, and we're trying to make sure that we settle in and have something that has longevity, and the kids are buying into that, and we're getting more kids out that haven't played in previous years. So I mean, numbers improved this year. We're up to 41, I'm sorry, 9 through 12, so that's good. We're pretty close to being able to have a freshman team, but not quite this year. So we'll play a Froshmore schedule and get those kids a lot of reps. I mean, we don't have many juniors that aren't playing on Friday, so it's not really a JV team. So yeah, I mean, they're doing a great job. I'm excited.
We can't wait. I obviously love sitting in a booth calling a game, but I always kind of keep an eye on what Minerva's doing, what Malvern's doing, because these communities just absolutely are all in with the programs. And that's got to feel great as a coach that you've got the support. The community is behind you. They're following you. And after last season, like, you have to feel really good going into year 2.
I do. And it showed this summer with just the retention from year to year, from last year to this year, and we were able to put a lot more stuff in. I mean, last year at this time we barely had anything in offensively, so it was difficult, but that we've built on it this year, and the kids have taken to it and done a great job. And being at a school that has had a program since 1913, that is just awesome. I mean, just looking back on all those records and the guys that have come before me, the players that have been there, it's just unbelievable. And those alum really want to see success, and they want to be involved with it. So that's really good to see as well.
I love it. So I've asked the other coach this, I'm going to ask everybody tonight, what is one thing that we can expect from the Minerva Lions this season? One thing.
I know this is going to sound weird. We're going to throw the ball more.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. You guys did. You guys ran a lot last year, so I think it's really cool that.
Like I said, with that freshman quarterback, it was just I mean,
you want to protect him.
I kind of protect him.
Right, exactly. That's your future.
And he's put on about 25 pounds in the offseason.
Oh, wow.
So he's really gotten bigger and stronger and faster, and he's done a great job. He works his butt off. It's really good to see.
All right, not a football question, but I'm going to ask anyway. What is one item of food that you were looking forward to tonight if you had to guess what they were going to give you?
Oh, man.
It's buffet style.
The sausage and pepper's always good.
Okay. I like it. He's a sausage and peppers guy.
Yeah.
I love it. Once again, here with Minerva head football coach Zach Slates. Coach, I want to thank you for your time.
Thanks for
having me. It's always great catching up with you.
Always appreciate it.
And can't wait to see what goes on. I know I'll be at one or two Minerva games this year, so I will look forward to coming down and chatting with you pregame, and wish you nothing but success this year, and go Lions.
I appreciate it.
That is Coach Zach Slates of Minerva. The line is starting. Coaches are coming in and getting ready. Looks like I'm going to get Louisville head football coach Jake Adkins next, as he's going to make his way over to the hot seat, as we'll call it. We'll get to chat. Here you go, Coach. Why don't you slide this on? You look great. Bald heads forever. I love it. Here you go. Nice to meet you, Coach. Oh, go ahead and slide that on. Here with Louisville Leopards head football coach Jake Adkins. Coach, I love that you got the bald head memo. Thank you.
Absolutely,
us bald brothers have to stay together.
That's right.
I love it. Coach, your first year here at Louisville. What are your expectations going into year one?
Yeah, first of all, I'm just honored and blessed to be in the position I'm in. To be able to come back and be at my alma mater. It's just so humbling and gratifying to be able to give back to the kids, and to be able to teach those lessons to the kids that I received. But obviously the expectations are high. We're really excited about the group that we have this year. Especially our junior class. Our senior class isn't big in numbers, but our junior class returns a lot of guys that played as sophomores. So we're really looking forward to this group and looking forward to tomorrow night's scrimmage, and then obviously week 1, New Philly.
Coach, obviously your first coach's dinner here with other Stark County coaches. Like, are you a little nervous? Are you like in your element? Like, so what are we feeling right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you're at a place like this and you're around so many, well-respected programs and coaches around the county, it's a little bit nerve-wracking. But I'm just humbled and honored to be here in the midst of just an awesome thing for Stark County football.
So do you know all of the coaches? Like, is there one that you're like really looking forward to meeting tonight?
I do know a few. Actually played for Coach DeMarco at Northwest.
Yes, you did.
Getting to know Spencer Lino pretty well, head coach at Perry. Know Coach DeGeorge a little bit. So I got some connections, but I'd love to meet as many as I can for sure.
That's awesome. Is there a specific coach that you kind of shaped your game planning and like your ideas around, or is that just what's going on up in your brain? You're like, yes, I'm a football guy. I know all this stuff and I'm going.
Sure. Yeah. I was lucky enough to play for some great coaches. Then obviously, I've been at Louisville now for 13 years. And I've gotten to learn from some good ones. I played for Paul Farah, got to coach with Coach DeMarco, Troy Davis, who was head coach there for a little bit. And then obviously the most recent one, Coach Kappas. So, I've kind of taken a little bit from everybody and kind of tried to mold it into my own. But yeah, I've just been blessed to be around some good coaches and, kind of form my own things, but also take from them what I've learned.
Coach, what's it been like? Obviously, your first year at the helm, you get scrimmages, the two-a-days. Like, when did you know, like, it's go time?
Yeah. Gosh, I would say at the beginning of summer, but I've had some great coaches keeping me grounded, coaches that have experience on the staff. One to mention Greg Dickerhoof, who's been a head coach himself. He'll call our offense this year. I'm just really well supported and looking forward to this season.
So, Coach, you said you got New Philly week 1. What's something that we can kind of expect from the Louisville Leopards heading into their first regular season game with you at the helm?
Yeah, week 1 opponent, New Philly, great program. Got a lot of respect for Coach Johnson and the way he's done things. I think he does a great job down there. I mean, that team's a contender every year. So, we're going to have to bring our best and be ready to go from play 1 if we want to have a chance in that game. Really, we're just, we want to come out, establish the run, and be able to stop the run and kind of bring a sense of physicality to our game and kind of set the tone early with being able to support the ball or, possess the ball, keep the chains moving, and being able to stop their run, obviously, will be big too.
I know you said at the beginning here, you get the opportunity to coach at your alma mater. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that feels special. So you obviously looked at the season schedule when it came out. What was one game on the schedule where you're like, man, I cannot wait for this one?
Man, I'd be lying to you if I didn't say North Canton.
Okay.
That's one that's meant a lot to our community for a long time, and have great respect for North Canton and Coach Baum. Great program over there. Every time we play them, we're going to get their best. And, in a rivalry game like that, it's just a lot of fun. And, those are the games that you coach for. Those are the games that you get excited for. And, again, every opponent on our schedule is going to be a tough one. So we'll have to be ready to go each week.
See, I'm glad you wrapped that around, because I was going to go, well, he could go with the cheesy answer, be like, well, every game on the schedule is big. I love that you were honest and you said Hoover because of what it means. You guys are literally very close in distance. You guys, it's similar to a backyard rivalry where it's big brother, little brother. And of course, if Louisville is the little brother, like, you want to show big brother that you can do it.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I got to play in some special games in that rivalry. Growing up as a young kid in Louisville, going to a lot of great games between Louisville, Hoover. It's meant a lot to me, and I think it means a lot to our community. And I mean, that's what makes high school football great. When you have two great communities going at it on Friday night, I don't think it gets much better than that. So
I love it. My co-host and I were talking a little bit earlier. We were talking about you're a very intimidating looking guy. Like, I didn't know what to expect when you kind of came over to the table. I didn't know if I had to get under the table. So what's the personality here? Are we 0 to 100 or is it a slow build? What do we got here?
I mean, I would say I can go 0 to 100 real quick.
Okay. Okay.
I try to create relationships with my players and I guess you could say I am a player's coach. But I just enjoy being around the kids. They love being coached hard. They want to be pushed. And that's what makes our job fun too as coaches, kids that want to be there every day and want to be coached hard. So I feel like I got a little bit of both, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Coach, I love it. I'm so looking forward to seeing how you can enjoy your first season as a coach from the 1,000-foot view.
Sure.
But then also be excited and I gotta think that the blood is pumping.
Yes.
This is your alma mater. You want to see them succeed. There's so many things going through your head. How do you stay centered before week one?
Yeah, that's a great question. As a player, playing at Louisville, I got to experience what winning felt like. And that's kind of what drives me as a coach, is getting our program back to winning, and teaching the kids what it takes to win. I think that's most important, right? So, being able to give back and push them to a level that they didn't think they could go to, I felt that as a player, and that's what we want to do as coaches. There's a lot of things, distractions going on, obviously preseason, but I think just controlling the things that you can control. One of the things that we harp on in our program is, show up every day with the right of intent. You show up every day with the right intentions, your day's going to go better. Having possess a good attitude every single day. And then obviously giving maximum effort, trying to instill that in our culture again. Because if you do those things, you ultimately give yourself a chance to win. If you don't do those things, you don't have much of a chance. So I would say just controlling the things that we can control and, taking care of our own business.
So do you have a roster spot for me? Hearing you talk, I'm ready to go. Coach, put me in. I think I got a year or two of eligibility left. I am ready to go. I love it. I think it is fantastic.
Hey, we'll take anybody we can get. We're trying to build our
Dixon,
numbers.
There's still a chance for you and I.
Yeah.
He's got some roster.
We got some spots.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you. Really
head
appreciate
coach
it.
Jake Adkins from the Louisville Leopards. Go enjoy your first coach's dinner, and I'm excited to see what you're able to do with the Leopards this year.
Absolutely. Thank you. Very humbled to be here and appreciate your time.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach, so very much. Once again, head coach Jake Adkins from the Louisville Leopards. And next up, the man, the myth, and the legend, head coach of the Fairless Falcons. See, they're chatting. They're getting they're trying to size each other up here before they don't play each other, but it's always good to kind of pick the brain of a coach. You can never get it. Yeah, you want to go give him the headset. That would be great. Oh, wait, nope, he's going to sit down now. It is one of my favorite Stark County head coaches.
I didn't know that.
From the Fairless Falcons, it is Coach AJ Sarbaugh. Coach, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Coach, I didn't get to a single Fairless game last year. I'm sorry. But we
only had 4 home games.
I know, but I usually love coming out to Fairless. You guys do a phenomenal job, not to mention the pizza that comes to the press box. You guys do a great job taking care of us. But just to be able to watch you guys on the field, obviously last year, didn't go as planned.
Yeah.
It's a new calendar year.
Mm-hmm.
How are we feeling going into almost week one? We're about a week away. How are we feeling down in Fairless?
Yeah, I think we're excited. The last 2 years we've been really young, so our seniors and juniors this year have played a lot of football. A lot of them have started when they were sophomores and freshmen. And the big thing for us is we got to stay healthy. We're around 35 guys, and last year we started 3-1, and between weeks 4 and 5 we lost 7 starters.
Oof,
And at a
okay.
school for us, a lot of them were two-way guys. So that's the biggest thing. We got to stay healthy and learn how to practice with small numbers and see what happens.
AJ, this is what year for you at Fairless? Ninth year. So I'm going to ask coaches that have been long tenured coaches.
Yeah.
What continues to keep you motivated and on fire to continue coaching these new crop of kids?
I think every year is different, and each year you have a different group of seniors. You have a different group of freshmen. Like those seniors want to leave their mark on the program. They want to win a league title, make the playoffs, and those freshmen are experiencing it for the first time. So as a coach, you just want to see kids have success. They've put all that work in. So each year you have a different group of kids, and you just want them to be the best version of themselves.
I love that. Can I get that on a plaque? I think that's very well said. I think that, it takes a lot to be a head coach at any level. And you've now done it 9 years at Fairless. You're getting ready for your 9th year.
Yeah.
So, all right, I asked Coach Slates this because I know he's been here a few years. I'm going to live vicariously through you with the food. Like, what are we going to expect?
Food's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you'll get chicken and corn, salad. I can't think of everything else. But
That's okay.
Yeah, the food's always pretty good here, no doubt.
Coach, there's a rumor going around that this could be a very good year for Fairless. Do you feel that is a fair assessment? Or are you waiting to say, hey, we got to play, let us get a couple games in before we say or do anything?
Yeah, I don't know. I think every year at this point, every team's excited because you don't know what you are. You hope you know what you are. But like I said, on paper, we have a lot of guys that have played a lot of football. The key for us is going to be staying healthy. And last year, we had 4 home games versus this year we have 6. And we had 5 road games in a row last year. We were 43 days between home games. So this year,
wow.
Yeah, we didn't have a home game in September. So that really wore on our kids. So this year we're on the road week 1 and then home for 5. I think that makes a difference. But the Pac-7's always good. You have to play week in and week out. So like I said, hopefully we stay healthy, take advantage of our home field, and play our best every week because in the Pac, anybody can beat anybody.
I love it. Coach, again, I said that to Coach Adkins. I'll say it to you. I know you said you only have 35. I got 2 of us right now. We'll come. We'll suit up. I mean, I can do it. I think I might be able to do something. I might blow my knee, but hey, you know me. I'd love to come play for you. Coach, what's one thing we can expect from the Fairless Falcons this season?
I think we always talk to our kids about playing as hard as they can and being first class in what we do. We want to represent our community and our school. And on Friday nights, whether we win or lose, you want to see a good product out on the football field. Kids that play hard, play together, and just play the game the right way.
Well, I want to say goodnight to those listening on AM 1310 WDPN. Loved having you join us today for the Sam Bourquin Show live from St. Haralumbo's Church. For the 2026 High School Football Coaches Preview. You can continue to listen and watch on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Facebook, X, and YouTube. Go ahead and tune in. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully I did Sam proud. Thanks again to Mike Dixon for sitting in with me tonight and helping me out. We're here with Fairless Falcons head football coach, AJ Sarbaugh. Coach, before we let you go, one more, this is probably the most important question I'm going to ask you, okay? How do you like Fairless, the community, being so supportive of your team every season?
Yeah, I think that's something we're really fortunate. The last, 6, 7, 8 years, our home games, whether we're winning or not having the success we want, our fans come out. Our band is outstanding, student section. The people down in Fairless really love football. They support football. And I think that's something we tell our kids that you just asked about. As long as you play hard every week and you represent our community with first class, they're going to support you. They expect you to play the game the right way. And I think that's something that we've always done. And our kids do things the right way. But you come down to Fairless on a Friday night, and I like to think that it's pretty special. Like, it's a great small school, high school football stadium, great environment, and it's a lot of fun.
My co-host used this term earlier, and I'm going to steal it. Fairless reminds me a lot of the Friday Night Lights town, where you're in country and everybody's there. Everybody is locked in for Friday nights at Fairless. I love it. Coach AJ Sarbaugh, it is always a pleasure catching up with you. I'm excited to see what you do this year at Fairless. I'm going to try to get to a game or two. I promise. But thank you so very much. Good luck to you this season, and thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it. Great seeing you.
Absolutely. That was head coach AJ Sarbaugh. Now the room is filled. I'm seeing coaches at every angle that I'm looking, and so coaches are popping in. Next up on the list for us is a new coach for the St. Thomas Aquinas Knights. It is Isaiah Robinson. Coach Robinson, pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you.
Coach, your very first year, how are you feeling? Obviously, your first head coach's dinner. What's going through your head right now?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little nervous, but you know, it's the good nervous. You know, like before a football game, butterflies before you go out there and get that first hit. But you know, I'm just excited. I'm so honored, you know, to be here. You know, amongst Stark County's finest. You know, and I'm just so humbled and excited to be out here. You know,
Coach. Obviously, last year, not the season that they wanted to have at St. Thomas, but now you're in.
Yes.
What is something that we can expect that we didn't see last year with the Knights?
A nasty mentality, a relentless effort to get after it. Yeah, right. We know that we're scheduled to be everybody's homecoming, everybody's senior night, but guess what? We like that uncle that you don't want to invite to the party. Why? Because he might come and crash it, and that's what we're gonna do. So we're just bringing that type of attitude and effort. Guess what? We can only go up from here. They've done the losing before. Now it's time to go out there and change the narrative, and that's exactly what we're gonna do this year.
Coach, I love it. I love the intensity. I love it. So Mike Dixon, my co-host, was able to be at one of your scrimmages, and he said what he noticed first and foremost, you and your coaching staff, the intensity. You guys had it dialed up to 100 for a scrimmage.
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel that that is what you want to do each and every game?
We have to. We have to go out there and set the tone. We can't be let other teams set the tone for us, and that's what's been happening in the past for St. Thomas. We can't wait for them to bring the punishments us. Like I said, and you inviting us to your homecoming? Okay, so we're going to crash the party, we're going to kick in the door, and we're going to do what we're supposed to do. And, you know, that's the energy has to start from the coaching staff, you know, every day, you know, and from where St. Thomas is coming from, we totally understand that, you know, our seniors, you know, they haven't been exposed to this type of intensity and this type of get after it attitude, but they love it. They've been embracing it, and that's what they fiend for, and that's what they want. So we just, as a coaching staff, we just have to give it to them.
Coach, I'm ready to suit up.
Oh, yeah.
You got room for me?
Come on now.
All right.
Come on now. You got any more eligibility?
I don't know.
We'll dye your hair. We'll dye your beard.
Yeah, get
take
the
gray out.
Yeah. I love it. Coach, kind of walk me through the interview process. Obviously, I've never been a head coach.
Yes, sir.
What was it like to interview at St. Thomas?
Oh, well, it was a beautiful thing because I actually coached football at St. Thomas before under Mike Cooks. So it was almost like a homecoming for me. So, you know, when I was going through the interview process, you know, I told Mr. French, Kevin Irvine, you know, our principal, I told him that for me, it was unfinished business. You know, when we were out at St. Thomas Aquinas before, I was a defensive coordinator. You know, 3 years we made the playoffs. Out of the 4 years that we were there, 3 years we made the playoffs, and those 3 years we got beat by the eventual state champion. So we knew we were just a few hogs really up front away from getting over the hump. And, you know, Coach Cooks ended up leaving and everything, so it broke us up. But now we're back for unfinished business, and we want to start where we left off. So I'm here to claim the throne and get after it. And once again, yeah, right, we understand the assignment. We know where we're at, and we understand that, and we're cool with it. But guess what? We're not complacent, and we're done with that old mentality of winning is okay, just have fun. No way.
Oh, Coach, I love it. Isaiah Robinson of the St. Thomas Aquinas Knights. Coach, I want you to go enjoy
Yes, sir.
your
Thank
first
you.
coach's dinner.
Yes,
Thanks for
man.
stopping
Thank
by.
you very much.
I wish you nothing but the best
Yes,
of luck.
sir.
And
Thank
I
you.
am excited to
Man.
be at one of your games so that I
Please.
can see the
Oh, yeah.
intensity, and I want to see what you're able
Oh,
to
yeah,
do
we
in
get
year
after
one.
it. Thank you. Thank you,
Coach,
guys.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Coach Isaiah Robinson. Man, I'm ready to run through a wall. My goodness. He is incredible, very intense. Mike, just like you said he was. Oh, I want to go play for him. If I had any eligibility left, I am all about going and playing. We're about 28 minutes from the start of the buffet dinner. We're going to try to get a couple more coaches over before the dinner starts. I'm looking around the room and I see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of coaches, their staffs, everybody here just ready to go and play, get to go to this table as a head coach and share their experience and share everything that they've learned throughout the years. These new coaches learning from the older coaches, like it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's just coming off that last interview, the energy you feel coming from that man is infectious.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Infectious.
Well, Mike, you're going to have to give up
again.
the seat. You're going to bounce again. Joining me is Northwest Indians head football coach John DeMarco. Year 7 for Coach DeMarco at Northwest. If Brian Beatty would let him come back to the table, here we go. Coach DeMarco of the Northwest Indians. Coach, it's a pleasure to see you.
Well, it's a pleasure to see you, and great to be here. And boy, it looks like that's going to be a tough act to follow there.
Coach Robinson, he's infectious.
Yes,
He's
yes,
ready
I
to
just
go.
met him right there and congratulated him, and he was all excited and raring to go. And I thought, ooh, I got to follow that. I don't know.
Well, I'll lob you some softballs. We'll be
Okay.
okay. We'll be okay. Coach, 7th year at Northwest. Last year, 6-5. New calendar year. How are we feeling going into this year?
Well, practice has been very exciting. We're very young, so we got a lot of enthusiasm. The kids show up every day. There's a lot of positions open. Everybody's battling for it, and it's exciting to be around young kids. The execution at times hasn't been real good. We lost 22 seniors last year. We got a lot of places to replace, but it has been exciting just from the enthusiasm they bring every day and the effort that they're giving.
Coach, obviously, I had the opportunity. I know my co-host did as well, of being at a few Northwest football games, and it seemed like a few of those towards the end, Northwest just kind of ran out of gas. And that's going to happen over the course of a football season. Teams just, it happens. How do you keep the mentality of the team to understand that it's going to take 48 minutes? How do you instill that knowledge to them on a day-to-day basis, that it's going to take everything they've got every game?
Well, you know, football, we always, coaches always talk about the next play and all these other plays. But when you go back and look at a football game, there's usually anywhere from 3 to 7 crucial plays in a game. And I wouldn't say that we ran out of gas or we did this or we did that. It just seemed like we couldn't make the big play, and the big play was being happening against us. It was one of those years where we just couldn't get a break. We couldn't get the ball to bounce our way. It was just very unfortunate how it just seems like some years, and I know everybody says things even out with the officials' calls and the way the ball bounces and all that, but I don't think it evens out over a year. I think it evens out over, a career of a program or a career of a coach. But it just seemed like everything went against us last year, and we just couldn't get over the hump there towards the end. We lost our last 3 games, which was very discouraging, and they're all games that we could have easily won with a play here or there or preventing a play from here or there on either side of the ball, and we just couldn't get it done.
Well, and that's it happens, right?
It happens.
It's the unfortunate with sports. Somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose. I wish everybody could win every week, but then that'd be weird. Everybody would have the same record.
I don't care about everybody else winning. I just want to win every week.
I like it. I
Okay.
like that mentality. Coach, what is one thing that we can expect of the Northwest Indians in 2026?
Well, we're going to play hard and improvement. As young as we are, I hope we come out and play hard every game, and we need to improve every day and every week. You're going to be playing a lot of sophomores. We could get better for some time, but we got to see that improvement every week from us.
Coach, it's always awesome to get to talk to you. You're very infectious too. Maybe not like Coach Robinson.
I'm just not that outgoing like
but
that.
That's okay. Yes. I have seen players react to you and do big things. So I'm excited for the Northwest Indians in 2026. I know I'll get to call a couple of your games. I'm very excited. I always love watching from the booth. I want to thank you. I know that you've done this a few years now. You've come to the coaches' dinners. You look forward to them. You're not on the field tonight. You get to look at some of the other coaches around Stark County. Is there one particular coach that you've learned a lot from that'll be in this room tonight?
Interesting that you say that. I brought a special guest with me tonight. I brought my youth football coach with me.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, it really is. And he was actually my football and baseball coach, but he started developing that passion and the love of the game. All the things that this great game has to offer. He started that, and I know he's been part of the Hall of Fame Luncheon Club, and I thought he would really enjoy something like this. So I brought him with me tonight, and I was talking to some other people. There's no way that you can thank all of the people that put you on the path that you're on. The only way that you could possibly repay them is by paying it forward, and hopefully those individuals that you pay it forward to will then return the favor, and they will pay it forward also in just countless number of lives that you could reach in that with that mentality. But there's so much that my youth football coach that got me started in this, and I'm just very grateful. So yeah, that was a great question. I love that because I got him here tonight. So yeah,
something told me to ask it, so I asked it. Coach DeMarco, I thank you for your time. Go enjoy this evening. I can't wait to see what the Northwest Indians can do this year. Good luck to you, and I cannot wait to see what happens in 2026.
Thank you much. I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you guys.
Awesome. Coach John DeMarco of the Northwest Indians, another icon in the Stark County coaches circle, I guess is what we'll call it. We got another guest coming up from the Perry Panthers. Second-year man, Spencer Lino. Coach, it is a pleasure to see you.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
Coach,
how's everybody doing?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Doing good.
Coach, obviously your second year here, 5-5 last year. It's a new calendar year. How excited are you to get year 2 underway?
Very excited, and the excitement started in the offseason. Every new coach is going to go through a transition period, and you're probably not going to get in there and get going until middle of offseason, right? So our kids for those couple months I had them last year, our senior group was a great senior class last year. They did a great job, but this year especially, just having those kids for an entire year, entire offseason, developing relationships with them, being in the building with them as a teacher, I think that makes a difference, is to continue to build, your culture. And then where's your culture developed in the week, and having that consistent, and, for a whole year really helps.
Coach, I'm excited because I get to see you week 1. My broadcast partner and I will be in Canton, in Perry, for the Battle of 13th Street. How are you feeling? Like, when you hear that that's the first game on your schedule to start the year, does that get the blood going?
Yeah, I mean, it's a rivalry that's been going on for 20 plus years, probably longer than that. And what's cool, I mean, we're right, like you said, we're right on 13th Street. Coach Trucker, Trucker's a great coach. I respect the heck out of him. His teams are going to be well coached, and you have to be up for that game. It's week 1. Both teams are going to have to shake the cobwebs out, right? Get the rust off. But we're excited. That's what we've been working for this whole offseason.
I love it. Coach, what is one thing that we can expect from the 2026 Perry Panthers?
The expectation hasn't changed. We want toughness at Perry. We want grit. We want physicality. You know, we want to win the game in the trenches. You know, I know we've shifted the offense from wing T to a little bit more modern day offense, but that doesn't change. The physicality piece, the Perry grit, toughness. You know, that's what we want to see this season.
Coach, when I tell you there's a lot of people talking that the Perry Panthers might be the sleeper team in the Federal League this year, what does that mean to you?
You know, I appreciate people saying that. You know, we want to stay the course, have blinders on. You know, we don't want the rat poison. We want to be consistent. We want to keep working. You know, and I guess like the old Bill Belichick way says, don't believe the hype. Just stay consistent. Do it day in. Focus on every practice, every game, every rep. I guess that's our MO.
So does that mean you're not going to make that bulletin board material that, hey, folks are talking that we could take the Federal League? You're not going to post that up in the locker room this year?
We're going to focus day by day, day by day, and week by week.
I absolutely love it. Coach Spencer Lino of the Perry Panthers, I appreciate your time. Go enjoy your coach's dinner, and I can't wait to see you week 1 for the Battle of 13th Street.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Spencer Lino. Next up on the hot seat from the Lake Blue Streaks, Mr. Dan DeGeorge. Coach DeGeorge, welcome on in.
How we doing?
It is always a pleasure to see you, Coach DeGeorge.
Great to be here, man. Thanks for having us.
Coach, you've been doing this for a little bit now.
A little bit.
What excites you about coming to the coach's preview dinner?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it means that we're close to week 1, right, which is exciting. But this is always such a well-run event. At the end of the day, you have a bunch of guys like me that coach high school programs that are giving a lot of time and effort to our youth. Love the game. They all have great assistant coaches. So the camaraderie of football, man, we could talk about that forever. But it's just a special night. Obviously, Stark County football is very special. So I think it's just a pleasure to be a part of, and it's getting us close to the kickoff, which we're all excited about.
Coach, how ready are we for week 1? It's around the corner. We're about a week away.
Yeah, we're getting there. It is a marathon, not a sprint, right? We have our second scrimmage tomorrow night, so we'll find out a little bit more there. Trying to keep everyone healthy at the same time, trying to get as good as we possibly can get. And it's a process. So we're looking forward to the challenge. Love going to practice every single day for the opportunity to get better. But we got a fighting chance, man, if we can stay healthy. So,
Coach, what is one thing that we can expect from the 2026 Lake Blue Streaks that we may not have saw last year?
Yeah, our kids, we always have great kids, man. I'm blessed to be in a great school district with great kids and great families, but just a special group this year. But led by our seniors, we have 21 seniors that are just a close-knit, man, and they don't care who gets the credit on anything. And I think that's the biggest thing, man. When you can trust your seniors to lead the proper way, your best teams are player-led, and ours right now is player-led, which is awesome. So I'm seeing some really good things
6. I know I'll be calling a few games like I do every year.
Excellent.
So I can't wait to come down and chat with you on the sideline and just see exactly how you're feeling and what we can, come to expect when we see Lake. I appreciate your time. It is always good catching up with you, and I will see you very soon, sir.
I appreciate you guys, and thanks for what you do for Stark County football.
Absolutely. Coach Dan DeGeorge of the Lake Blue Streaks. Again, we apologize for the technical glitch. The internet's great when it works, and then when the internet stops, you're looking at yourself going, what do we do now? So joined again by Mike Dixon, my coach. I see a coach very close that could be popping over. So we'll wait and see if he makes his way over here. Mike, I mean, the impression that I get from all of these coaches is that they're so excited to be here because they know the season is right around the corner.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing is that they know this is like the last step, the last big thing right before the season starts, and something they all probably look forward to because, it gets them in front of their other coaching friends and, they can touch base and talk and see how things go, because a lot of times you don't play a lot of these other teams. They're not in your conference. And then you're seeing some old familiar faces. Maybe it's an old AD or something like that. But no, definitely they're excited here because they know the season is right around the corner.
I want to know how much trash talk happens at these things. Do you say, especially if it's a team that you're playing, like, hey, I can't wait to see you in X amount of weeks so that we can mop the floor with you? Or I just wonder.
I don't think any, because you don't want to give bulletin board material.
There you go.
Like being a coach myself is that I'm not going to do any of that because I don't want to give them any fire, any fuel to throw on their fire for a reason to come after us or put a target on our back. I think they all have genuine respect for each other. Yeah, maybe in the back of their mind, they're like, oh yeah, I can't wait till week 3 when we come to your stadium and ruin your home opener or whatnot. That's got to be sitting in the back of their mind, especially if they had a close game last season.
Right.
If you had a really close game last season, it came down to the final few seconds. Maybe you made one little mistake or you got a flag when you shouldn't have, and it changed the game.
Right.
Then now you're thinking, okay, yeah, I have this one circled. I want it bad. And I'm going to poker face when I see him in front of him. So he thinks, hey, everything's buddy. But when it comes to that Friday, let's go.
I love it. We're about 10 minutes away. The buffet dinner getting ready to start. Everybody's kind of made their way in. The MC of the evening is at the podium. So we're about ready. So I'm waiting to see if we can get one more coach before we sign off for the evening. Once again, it is Mike Voorhees, Mike Dixon, filling in for the legend, Sammy Bourquin. And I think we're going to get him. It is Massillon Tiger head football coach Nate Moore. Coach Nate Moore of the Massillon Tigers. Coach,
how's it going?
It's going, sir. How are you?
Good.
It's always good to see you.
Thank you.
You are probably, and I think I can say this, you are the best dressed coach of the night.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I know last year you rocked the orange suit, and I loved it.
Yes.
This year went a little more contemporary, and I love it.
Yeah. Well, I've lost a little bit of weight recently.
I was going to ask. You look great.
Down about 60 pounds, and I put the orange jacket on. It was looking a little bit more like an orange blanket.
Okay.
So
you're gonna have to see a tailor a little bit, or go buy a new one, I guess.
Yeah. Time to downgrade or upgrade it.
Coach, obviously another dinner for you, another year at Massillon. A lot of eyes on the Massillon Tigers this year. As a coach, do you love the attention, or do you wish you didn't have it?
Oh, I mean, you can't have the good without the bad, right? So, there's a lot of I don't know what you call it, hype or talk about our football team this year, but it's not really new for us, right? Football is really important in Massillon, and there's always eyes on our program and high expectations, and we welcome this high. What a blessing to have high expectations.
I absolutely
for everything that we do, and so we welcome all those things.
Coach, you set expectations. What are your expectations for 2026?
Oh, well, we scrimmage Mueller tomorrow.
It's going to be a great scrimmage.
Yeah, it's going to be a great scrimmage. And, we traveled about 4 hours down to Cincinnati and taking on a great Mueller team. And so we got a heck of a test for our players and our program tomorrow. And so we want to take the next step on our journey in our season and go down to Mount St. Joe's University and take on Moore High School and play harder and longer than our opponent.
Coach, I got to ask, is there one particular game on your calendar this year that you are really looking towards?
Week 10.
And why is that?
It's the premier rivalry game in the entire country. There's only one answer.
Coach, I love it. I knew that's what you were going to say. That's why I teed it up. Coach, when you have such a talented team like you do at Massillon, does that make your job easier or harder?
I mean, I think it's both. I mean, listen, having really talented players is great, right? It allows you to get, further into the details of what you're doing schematically. Typically, higher level players. Often it's really important to them, and they spend a lot of time perfecting their craft, whether that's with us or on their own. And so there's a lot of great things with players that have high expectations for themselves and high expectations for their career. But there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of extra time that goes into preparation. There is navigating the college recruiting process, and now you have agents at the next level, and NIL at the next level, and rev share at the next level, and how they are using their brand and marketing themselves, as they're making their way to the next level. And all those things are important to today's student athlete. So if it's important to our guys and it's in line with who we are as a team, then it's important to me. So there's a lot that goes into supporting those guys on their journey. But, once again, it's these are blessings, getting to be involved in these guys' lives and their progression and their as they're working through their career and to the next level, and hopefully, the professional level as well. So,
Coach, I love it. I got two quick questions. I'm going to save the last one because I think it's great. What is one thing that we can expect this year from the 2026 Massillon Tigers?
Oh, I mean, our kids play hard. They practice hard. They work hard in the weight room, and we have those expectations every year. But we have a team with a lot of experience coming back, a lot of high expectations within our locker room, and some good leadership. And so when you put all those things together, you're going to have a very highly motivated team that is going to do everything they can to play at the highest level that they can for as long as possible, 48 minutes. And that we had our first scrimmage last week, and we saw a lot of that. It's a controlled scrimmage, but we saw a lot of that, and we see it every day in practice. Our Madison fans are going to get to watch a team that is not only talented, but is going to play the game with a level of intensity that is unique.
I love that. I love that. A friend of mine bet me that I wouldn't ask you this, but I'm going to ask. Do you have any insight on Friday, the college announcement for Brayton?
I mean, even if I did,
you're not going to tell?
Yeah, I mean, even if I did, I wouldn't tell.
Is there one that we can eliminate?
It's going to be such a special day.
I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, and Brayton, he deserves his moment in the spotlight, making his announcement. and really happy for him. You know, he's been a great addition for us in many, many ways. What a first-class young man, and you know, to have a part in his journey has been you know, a lot of fun, very rewarding, you know, so far, and just wish him the best. You know, you know, when you're going through all these things, you know, like college decisions, there's so many great options out there, right? There's so many great coaches, so many great programs, and so you make the choice that feels right, and then you make that choice the right choice by how you approach it.
Any four of those schools, any one of those schools is going to be extremely happy to get him. And it'll be so much fun to watch him play at the next level. But before we can watch him play at the next level, we get to watch him suit up for the Massillon Tigers.
Correct.
And I am so excited, Coach. I want to wish you nothing but the best of luck in 2026. I can't wait to catch you on the field, have some conversations, and I appreciate you stopping by and giving us some time.
Thank you.
Go Massillon
Go Tigers.
Yes. Coach Nate Moore of the Massillon Tigers stopping by, and we have time for one more coach, a man that really needs no introduction, but I'm hoping I can get him in before we start. We're kind of running out of time here. It'll be Coach Matt Dennison of the Glen Oak Golden Eagles. They're getting ready to start the buffet dinner, so I don't know if we're going to get him. It may have to be a private interview because this guy's going to start talking. So we're going to stop. We're going to call it a night. Thank you so much for everybody tuning in to the 2026 High School Football Coaches Preview live from St. Haralumbo's Church. It has been a pleasure being with you tonight. Sam Bourquin, thank you for letting me fill in. I'm Mike Voorhees, with me, Mike Dixon. Thank you to Brian Beatty, and thanks to Pete for getting things situated. They're going to kick us out because they're going to start the buffet dinner. So thank you again for tuning in. Hopefully we did a great job, and so be safe, be kind, and hopefully we'll see you guys next time. It is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN and on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you again soon.